Chapter 626. With her small body dealing with a big dog, and a really big dog at that, she couldn't help but feel a little strained. Zhao Yun was worried that Big Gray would bite Dowdu when it rushed over. Woof woof woof. Big Gray continued to bark, its fangs shining with cold light. Zhao Yun held a wooden stick in her hand and was ready. Once Big Gray rushed up, she could only fight with Big Gray. She only hoped that the damn dog would hurt her and not Dowdu. Mom? Lil P's voice was trembling because of fear. She was worried about them, and she seemed to know how dangerous Big Gray was. Dowdu, don't be afraid. Mom is here. I won't let it bully us. Mom, you have to be careful. Don't worry. Mom will protect Dowdu. Big Gray's eyes became a little fierce, and it slowly approached Zhao Yun. Just as Big Gray jumped and was about to rush to Zhao Yun's body, a stone flew out of nowhere and hit Big Gray's body. Then they heard a miserable dog's cry. There was a bloody hole in Big Gray's body. It quickly tucked its tail and turned around to run away. Zhao Yun was stunned by the sudden change. What was going on? It seemed that someone deliberately threw a stone, but Zhao Yun looked around and didn't see anyone. She didn't know where the stone came from. It's really strange. Mom, Big Gray was beaten away. Dowdu said excitedly. Zhao Yun nodded. Yeah, it's fine now. Okay. Zhao Yun patted Dowdu. Okay, let's go inside. Looking at Dowdu's little face, she knew that he was scared. After all, he was just a child, and Big Gray was so scary. Okay, Mom. Before entering the house, Zhao Yun continued to look outside the house, but there was still no one. She naturally didn't believe that the stone flew out of nowhere. It was obvious that the person saw that she and Dowdu were in danger. But who could it be? For dinner, Zhao Yun and Dowdu ate early, then she made a few more dishes and sent them to Mu Lianfeng. Mo Yen was tired from helping Mu Lianfeng, so Zhao Yun prepared a portion for him. Anyway, it wasn't difficult for her to cook one or two more dishes. Putting the cooked dishes in a lunchbox, Zhao Yun took the lunchbox and went up the mountain. The grass in the field grew more luxuriant. Since the weather had cleared up, the weather had become much warmer. It could be said to be a warm spring rain. As spring deepened, many treasures appeared in the countryside. Zhao Yun saw many watercress growing in the gutters, so she planned on plucking some when she went down the mountain and stir-frying them later. They tasted very good. These wild, unpolluted things were treasures in the 21st century. They were very difficult to buy even with money. When she arrived at the foot of the mountain, the men who were working had already found a place to rest. The heavy smell of food wafted through the air. Auntie Lu and the others were cooking. Zhao Yun directly went to Mu Lianfeng's tent. Mu Lianfeng was discussing something with Mo Yen. Mo Yen stood up when she saw Zhao Yun come over. She said to Mu Lianfeng, "Master, I'll be leaving first." Mu Lianfeng nodded. Chapter 627. Mo Yen did not dare to do that. Instead, she looked at Mu Lianfeng first, asking for Mu Lianfeng's opinion. Only when Mu Lianfeng nodded in agreement could he sit down and eat. This time, Mu Lianfeng did not argue with Mo Yen. After all, Mo Yen had been quite busy with the matters of the mine recently. Since your madam has allowed you to eat, just eat. All right. Thank you, master. Thank you, madam. Mo Yen nodded happily. Smelling the fragrance of the dishes, he felt that it was alluring. He had also tasted Zhao Yun's cooking. Come, let's eat. Zhao Yun took out the food from the container and placed it on the table. Mo Yen sniffed heavily. However, as Mu Lianfeng had not touched his chopsticks yet, she did not dare to eat. She could only wait for Mu Lianfeng to eat. Mu Lianfeng looked at the food on the table. There was a bowl of marinated tiger meat, a bowl of loach, a bowl of spicy tofu, a plate of scrambled eggs with leeks, and a bowl of natural vegetable soup. There was quite a lot of food, enough for him and Mo Yen to eat. The two of them ate heartily, almost licking up all the soup on the plate. It was as if they had been starving for days. After eating, Zhao Yun cleared away the plate and prepared to return. On the way back, she saw a rather large flat ground at the foot of the mountain. If she developed it, it would be enough for her to build a large house. There was also a small ditch with very clear water. It was perfect for scenery. As soon as Zhao Yun saw this piece of land, she thought of what it would be like to build a house. Actually, she did not have to choose a piece of land in the village. This piece of land was not bad either. It would save her the trouble of wrangling with Zhang Cui and angering herself. If she could interact with those weirdos, she would try her best not to interact with them. When she returned, she would tell Zhao Wenhua that she felt this place was not bad. Moreover, this place was close to the foot of the mountain, so it would be convenient for Mu Lianfeng to manage the mine when the time came. Mining was not something that could be done in a day or two. Zhao Yuner estimated that it would take a while. He had only taken a few steps when he heard movement in the bushes. It sounded like a woman moaning. Zhao Yuner frowned. Not long ago she had seen Zhao Wenshui and Chen Chuanxiu having sex in the wild. Could it be that she could see it again with her own eyes? Zhao Yuner whispered and walked towards the direction of the movement, and saw a man and a woman having sex together. The woman kept moaning in pleasure, but she was probably afraid that someone would hear her, so she deliberately lowered her voice. The more the man did it, the more excited he became. He couldn't wait to get the woman into his body. "You're much stronger than that damn cripple of mine," the woman said. "Of course. This feels good. Let's continue. We don't have many chances." "Isn't that so? Then we have to cherish it. Seeing that you're working so hard, I'll send you delicious food tomorrow to nourish your body. I still have a lot of eggs at home. I was going to save them up to sell them." "Hee, that's good. The food on the mountain is still a little less oily. It's not as good as the food you make." "That's right. You're working so hard. I can't treat you unfairly." After the woman finished speaking, the man's movements became more vigorous. Zhao Yuner was stunned. "Isn't this woman Zhang Chui, Chapter 628. Zhao Yuner finally understood what it meant to be AB*TC. Although she shouldn't meddle in other people's business, Zhao Yuner still felt uncomfortable when she thought about how Papa Chen's family was being bullied by AB*TCH. No matter what, she had to teach her a lesson. Zhao Yuner took note of this man's appearance. He didn't seem to be from the village, but from the group of people that Mu Lianfeng had brought over. That made things easier. Zhao Yuner turned around and quietly went back. Seeing that Zhao Yuner had returned, Daodu went forward and said to Zhao Yuner, "Mother, Daodu saw a beautiful uncle just now." "Beautiful uncle?" Zhao Yuner looked puzzled. She didn't know what Daodu was talking about. Yes. Daodu nodded heavily and explained. It turned out that a man in black had appeared in front of Zhao Yuner's house. He looked unusually handsome. Daodu didn't know if he was a good person or a bad person, so he only saw the man through the crack in the door and didn't go out. The man stayed for a while and then left. After hearing Daodu's story, Zhao Yuner guessed that this person had helped her chase Big Gray away. In addition to Daodu's description, this person couldn't be Yi Li, right? Could this man be so capable that he could find her here? But why did he come to her? Did he see that she hadn't been to town for a long time? Zhao Yuner shook her head. It was better not to think about these things. When she went to set up her stall, she could just ask Yi Li. Daodu tugged on her sleeve. "Mother, that beautiful uncle is so powerful. He can even fly in the sky. Daodu wants to be able to fly in the sky like him." Zhao Yuner patted Daodu's little head. "Daodu, flying in the sky is dangerous. What if you fall? Don't you agree?" Daodu nodded. "Then forget it. Daodu won't fly anymore. Good girl?" For the next 2 days, Zhao Yuner was busy with the land. Zhao Wenhua felt that Zhao Yuner was right. That piece of mountainous land could be repaired. If they bought it from the village, it would only cost 1 tael of silver. In addition to the cost of hiring manpower to repair the land, it was much cheaper than buying the Qin family's land. Thus, the whole family began to work on building the house. Building a house was not a simple matter, especially for Zhao Yuner's house. She had to find a professional bricklayer, but in the whole village there were only 1 or 2 bricklayers. Bricklayers were very popular. Basically, in the nearby towns and villages, as long as there were people building houses, they would be able to get some jobs. Zhao Yuner's house was so big that they needed at least 7 to 8 bricklayers. 2 bricklayers in the village had already arrived, and the rest had to be found in the nearby villages. Yuner's father, Yuner's eldest and second uncles are bricklayers. Why don't we ask them to come over and help us? After all, bricklayers are not easy to find, Liang Jinxiao said. Speaking of Zhao Yuner's eldest and second uncles, in fact, the 2 families did not have much contact. The Liang family disliked Liang Jinxiao because old Zhao's family did not like old Zhao's family. In fact, they looked down on old Zhao's family. In addition, the Liang family was wealthier than old Zhao's family. Although they were not a rich family, they were still considered wealthy in the village. Previously, old Zhao's family was having a hard time, so Hua Chunhua asked Liang Jinxiao to borrow food from the Liang family. After borrowing twice, the Liang family inevitably had more opinions about old Zhao's family. They even had prejudice against Liang Jinxiao's younger sister. Chapter 629. Zhao Wenhua frowned and seemed a little worried. Yuner's mother, will Yuner's eldest uncle and second uncle come to help us? Why not? They've already accepted the job, so they should accept the job for our family too, right? When the time comes, we'll just have to pay them the salary they deserve. Don't you think so? Zhao Wenhua thought for a moment. That's fine too. We'll discuss it with Yun'er's eldest uncle and second uncle later. It'll be best if they can come. If they don't want it, then forget it. Yes, yes. But I haven't been to Yun'er's eldest uncle and second uncle's house in a long time. We have to bring some things over. Otherwise it won't be nice. In the past, they didn't have the financial ability to do so. Now that their conditions were slightly better, the Liang family would definitely have objections if they didn't bring anything. In the past few years, Zhao Wenhua had been thinking of repairing the relationship with Liang Jinxiao's family. Unfortunately, he didn't have the chance. Yes. Okay. When are you going over? I'll prepare some things. Okay. Zhao Wenhua nodded. Even if Zhao Yun'er's eldest uncle and second uncle were willing to come over, there weren't enough bricklayers at home. Therefore they had to find other bricklayers. He had to ask around in the nearby villages. Zhao Yun'er was at home preparing breakfast for tomorrow. The weather had finally cleared up. After she was almost done with the chores at home, it was time to start earning money. Zhao Wenhua could handle the construction of the house, so she didn't have to be too busy. Mu Lianfeng finally had some free time after being busy on the mountain for a few days. For the past 2 days, Mu Lianfeng asked Zhao Yun'er to give the leftovers to Big Gray every time. After eating for 2 days, Big Gray started to wag its head and wag its tail at her family. Zhao Yun'er was puzzled. Could this be the way to deal with Big Gray that Mu Lianfeng mentioned? Giving this beast delicious food was equivalent to raising it. Dogs understood humans. In order to eat their food every day, they naturally wouldn't bully them. Now Big Gray didn't even go home. He stayed in front of Zhao Yun'er's house all day long. After all, compared to its master, the food that Zhao Yun'er gave it was definitely much better. Mu Lianfeng, are we going to raise this dog? Zhao Yun'er asked with a frown. To be honest, she hated Big Gray very much. Just looking at this dog made her feel disgusted. It was said that dogs were loyal, but Big Gray was an exception. He belonged to the category of people who would seek refuge from whoever fed him. Mu Lianfeng smiled and said, Yun'er, don't worry. Of course I won't keep it. Looking at Mu Lianfeng's mysterious appearance, Zhao Yun'er was even more curious about Mu Lianfeng's plan. Okay. Zhao Yun'er nodded. She believed that Mu Lianfeng should have his own way. Because of the matter of Zhao Yun'er choosing a new foundation, Zhang Chui couldn't stand it anymore and came looking for her. The moment she came looking for Yun'er's house, she had the attitude of wanting to stir up trouble. Behind Zhang Chui was Old Man Qin. Seeing the two of them come over, Zhao Yun'er ignored Zhang Chui and greeted Old Man Qin. Old Man Qin, what brings you to my house? Old Man Qin looked at Zhang Chui and hesitated for a moment. He seemed to be too embarrassed to speak. That. Yun'er girl, I just wanted to ask you. Do you still want my piece of land? Zhao Yun'er shook her head. Old Man Qin, your price is too high. Even if I want to buy it, I can't afford it. But we can discuss the price again. Chapter 630. This. Old Man Qin carefully looked at Zhang Chui. Zhao Yun'er already said so, which meant that she didn't want to buy it and didn't need it. What else could he say? He couldn't force her to buy it. Zhao Yun'er, didn't you agree with my father? I'll sell it to you for 2 taels of silver. Why are you going back on your word now? Zhang Chui jumped out and criticized her unhappily. Zhao Yun'er was baffled. What's going on? This Zhang Chui's ability to distort right and wrong was unparalleled. Zhao Yun'er curled her lips and smiled. That's right. I originally discussed it with Old Man Qin for 2 taels of silver. But auntie, didn't you say it was 15 taels? So expensive. Our family doesn't want to waste money. What I said before doesn't count. According to the 2 taels of silver that you and my father agreed on, we had to buy it when it was settled. Zhang Chui said confidently. Old Man Qin could only sigh helplessly. Auntie, did you make a mistake? You're the one who didn't want to sell it, and now you're the one who wants to sell it. After buying my family's land, you come here to talk about it? Aren't you a little too unreasonable? Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but mock and ridicule. She wasn't a fool. 2 taels of silver wasn't much, but it was earned through hard work. Why would she give it to others for free? Zhao Yun'er, since you don't buy it now, you're going against the rules and not being honest. No matter what, you have to buy my family's land today. Zhao Yun'er only felt that Zhang Chui was crazy. She came here to cause trouble for no reason. How could she tell that she was easy to provoke? Or did she think that she was used to bullying old man Chen's family so others had to give in to her? Andy, then I'll say it clearly. I don't need your family's land. I don't want it. Please move aside and get lost. Zhao Yun said to Zhang Chui, without holding back. What do you mean? That's what I mean. Father Chen sighed and said to Zhang Chui, Chui, let's go. They don't need our land, so why would they buy it for free? As soon as old man Chen finished speaking, Zhang Chui vented her anger on old man Chen. It's all because you're useless. Why didn't you keep an eye on them when they were buying other land? If you had come earlier, wouldn't the land have been sold? As she spoke, Zhang Chui moved her hands and directly pushed Father Chen to the ground. Looking at Zhang Chui's behavior, Zhao Yun suddenly became angry. What kind of person is this? Papa Chen, are you okay? Zhao Yun hurriedly helped Papa Chen up from the ground. Ouch, ouch, old man Chen cried out in pain. After all, he was old and his body couldn't withstand a fall. With such a fall, it was inevitable that his body would hurt. It's fine, Yuner girl. Papa Chen waved his hand. Seeing that Papa Chen was enduring the pain, Zhao Yuner glared at Zhang Chui. How can you treat an old man like this? Aren't you a little too immoral? Zhao Yun scolded a little angrily. Zhang Chui replied very arrogantly, it's none of your business. I'll do whatever I want. You're crazy. Zhao Yuner got angrier and angrier. Hurry up and get lost. Don't be an eyesore in front of my house. I won't get lost. If you don't buy the land today, I won't leave. As she spoke, Zhang Chui put her hands on her waist and looked like she was going to fight to the end. Chapter 631. Since she couldn't chase her away, she decided to let the dog bite her. Thus she called out to Big Gray, Big Gray, go. Hearing Zhao Yuner's command, Big Gray ran out without hesitation and started to bite Zhang Chui. Big Gray knew that as long as he got on Zhao Yuner's good side, he would be able to eat a lot later. Zhang Chui was so scared that she quickly ran away, but she was still caught by Big Gray. Luckily, Zhang Chui was wearing thick cotton clothes and trousers, so she was wrapped up like a dumpling. Otherwise, she would have been bitten into pieces by Big Gray. Zhao Yun, hurry up and tell the dog to get away from me, or else you'll have to pay for my medical expenses. Zhang Chui screamed at Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun smirked and chuckled, I'm sorry, Auntie. This big dog doesn't belong to me. If you want someone to pay for your medical expenses, you should look for my young mistress. What does it have to do with me? As Zhao Yun said that, Zhang Chui screamed again. A large piece of cloth on her butt was bitten off, revealing her smooth butt. Woof woof woof, Big Gray still didn't let go and bit Zhang Chui's smooth butt. This time he bit directly, leaving a row of teeth marks on Zhang Chui's butt, and it even started to bleed. Luckily Zhang Chui ran fast, or else the flesh on her butt would have fallen off. Big Gray chased after her relentlessly. Zhang Chui was scared out of her wits, but her butt was hurting badly. Seeing Big Gray pouncing over, Zhang Chui had no strength left. She glanced at the tree in front of Zhao Yuner's house, and used the last of her strength to slip up the tree. No matter how strong Big Gray was, he didn't know how to climb trees. He could only guard under the tree and bark non-stop. Zhang Chui patted her chest in shock and shouted at Zhao Yuner, who was under the tree, Zhao Yuner, hurry up and tell this damn dog to get out of my way. Zhao Yun smirked and couldn't help but smile. She didn't expect Big Gray to have such a function. It seemed like the food she fed him for the past 2 days wasn't for nothing. Now he could help her deal with weirdos. Annie, you're wrong. The dog doesn't belong to me. How can it do whatever I tell it to do? You have to look for my young mistress. The dog listens to her. Zhang Chui was now on the tree and could not come down. How could she go and find Madame Hu? I don't care. Zhao Yuner, I'm telling you, I'm not done with you today. Zhao Yuner's mouth evoked a sarcastic smile. It's not my dog. Why is it not over with me? If it bites you, you should settle the score with its owner. If not, you should bite it too. What's the point of dragging me into this? You. Zhang Chui glared at Zhao Yuner angrily. What should he do now? Big Gray wouldn't let her go. She couldn't come down from the tree and she couldn't find trouble with Zhao Yuner. She knew in her heart that it wasn't Zhao Yuner's dog. Even if she wanted Zhao Yuner to compensate, she couldn't. If she went to reason with Li Zheng would definitely stand on Zhao Yuner's side. Woof woof woof, Big Gray continued to bark at the tree. Mulan, who was in the house, couldn't help but cover her mouth and laugh. Looking at Zhang Chui's arrogant appearance, she was now on the tree. The commotion in front of Zhao Yun'er's house attracted many villagers to watch. Seeing Zhang Cui being chased to the tree by the dog with half of her butt exposed, they laughed even harder. After all, she was a woman. It was very embarrassing for her but to be seen by others. At this time Zhang Cui became the laughing stock of the villagers. She was being talked about. Chapter 632. Ha, Cripple Chin is lucky to be able to marry a woman with such a big butt. What's the use of having a big butt? The women in the village with small butts were not convinced. She still can't give birth to a son. Not only can she not give birth to a son, she can't even lay an egg. I don't know if it's Zhang Cui's problem or Cripple Chen's. Who knows? Maybe both of them have problems. The onlookers were not afraid of making a big deal out of it and kept laughing. Zhang Cui's face turned red. Since there was nothing to cover her but Zhang Cui gritted her teeth and scolded the people under the tree. Who dares to look at my butt? Wait until I come down from the tree and gouge out your eyeballs. Yo, sister-in-law Cui is angry. Everyone don't look. It's embarrassing. Anyone would be embarrassed. That's not what we want to see. Her pants are torn so big. Who can't see her big white butt? Haha, interesting. This is the first time I see a person being chased to a tree by a dog. Her butt was even bitten. The people below were chatting happily. Zhang Cui was so angry that she was about to spit fire. How embarrassing. How could she continue to stay in the village after this? Zhang Cui was angry at Old Man Chin below. Damn old man, don't you know how to chase the dog away? Otherwise how can I come down? Old Man Chin finally reacted. With a bitter face he said, Cui such a big dog. I can't chase it away. If you can't chase it away, why don't you call someone? Whose dog is yours? Old Man Chin quickly replied, Okay. Cui, wait here. I'll go call someone. After all, Zhang Cui was his daughter-in-law. Today's incident was also a disgrace to the Chen family. Looking at Old Man Chen's old body hurriedly running out, Zhao Yun felt a burst of sympathy. The Chen family treated Zhang Cui so well that she was speechless. But this bitch was too heartless. Not only did she have a bad attitude towards the Chen family, she even had an affair. This kind of weird existence really dirted people's eyes. Zhao Yun'er watched the show with great interest. Zhang Cui's embarrassment today was just the beginning. Zhao Yun'er would definitely find out about her affair. Before long, Zhao Yun'er's eldest grandmother, Madame Hu, was called over by Father Chen. She saw Big Gray yelling at Zhang Cui and even biting her butt. Madame Hu screamed in her heart that it was over. Since they were from the same village, Hu sure had some understanding of Zhang Cui. She was an unreasonable shrew. If he provoked her, he would get himself into trouble. Madame Hu, you old hag. Hurry up and get rid of your dog. Zhang Cui shouted angrily at Madame Hu. Woman, why are you like this? I came to save you with good intentions, but you're scolding me. Hu sure also replied with some displeasure. Who else can I scold if not you? You should be glad that I didn't scold your 18 generations of ancestors as well. You raised a mad dog that randomly bites people. Zhang Cui said angrily. Can you still be reasonable? My family's Big Gray doesn't randomly bite people. You must have provoked him first. Besides, a beast is a beast, not a human. How can I control who it bites? Madame Hu looked at Zhang Cui on the tree and suddenly didn't want to save her. Chapter 633. Who's being unreasonable? Your family's mad dog bit someone and you're still in the right? You damned woman, if you keep scolding me, I'm leaving. You can just stay in the tree. Madame Hu said angrily. Although her family's Big Gray was wrong to bite Zhang Cui shouldn't have such an attitude. Old Man Chin hurriedly said, Sister-in-law, don't be angry. Only you can save Cui. Also, your family's Big Gray is really scary. If he really doesn't let go of Cui, he might bite Cui to death. Hearing Old Man Chen's words, it meant that someone's life might be involved. She didn't dare. If someone died, it wouldn't be a small matter. She raised Big Gray. If he bit someone to death, she would have to take responsibility. At that time, she might even have to go to jail. Thinking of this, Madame Hu was a little scared. Zhang Cui continued to scold from the tree. If you don't get rid of your damn dog today, I'll come down and fight you with a kitchen knife. Some of the nearby villagers also began to persuade her. Big sister Hu, you should get rid of your family's Big Gray. Don't let anything happen to him. That's right, your family's Big Gray is too scary. Sister-in-law Hu, you have to look after your family's Big Gray. It's best to tie him up with a rope. Don't let him bite other people in the village. One by one they began to speak. They were afraid that they would become the next Zhang Cui. If they were also caught and bitten by Big Gray, what would Madame Hu do if she didn't care? Madame Hu sighed, "All right then." As she spoke, she walked over to Big Gray and shouted, "All right, Big Gray, come home with me." Big Gray glanced at Madame Hu and then looked at Zhao Yuner, who was standing not far away. It seemed to be asking for Zhao Yuner's opinion. If Zhao Yuner didn't let him leave, he would continue to guard her. Zhao Yuner didn't respond, so Big Gray ignored Madame Hu. Madame Hu felt strange. How come Big Gray didn't even listen to her? "Let's go, Big Gray, come back with me." As Madame Hu spoke, she pulled the iron collar around Big Gray's neck and prepared to drag him away. Unfortunately, she sadly discovered that Big Gray didn't want to leave at all. No matter how hard Madame Hu tried to pull him, he wouldn't budge. "Big Gray, what's wrong with you? Hurry and go back." Madame Hu scolded Big Gray. She was usually very obedient, but today she actually didn't listen to her. "Woof woof woof," Big Gray barked at Madame Hu. "Ah, damn dog, it's fine if you don't listen to me, but you actually dare to bark at me. Who raised you?" As Madame Hu spoke, she kicked Big Gray a few times as she continued to drag him away. Big Gray whimpered in pain, but he didn't move. Madame Hu immediately became angry. "Dead dog, do you think that this old woman can't deal with you? Hurry up and leave." Madame Hu continued to kick Big Gray's butt. These two kicks were not polite at all, causing Big Gray to jump up in pain. Madame Hu's behavior also angered Big Gray. Big Gray crazily barked at Madame Hu. You're rebelling, you damn dog." As Madame Hu spoke, she picked up a stone on the ground and threw it at Big Gray. Madame Hu was certain that Big Gray would bark, but he definitely wouldn't bite her. There were many people who raised dogs in the village, but she had never seen a family's dog bite its owner. Chapter 634. Woof woof woof, damn dog. I'll pull out your teeth later. You're getting bolder and bolder. Big Gray seemed to understand Madame Hu's words. This time he rushed towards Madame Hu and pounced on her. Everyone was at a loss of what to do with the sudden turn of events. How could this Big Gray dog bite its master? Woof woof woof, Big Gray bit down on Madame Hu's arm. Then they heard Madame Hu's pitiful cry. "Hey, why is Big Gray like this?" It said that dogs are loyal to their owners. I've never seen a dog bite its owner. It looks like her family's dog is a mad dog. It's different from other dogs. Hey, what a pity. What do we do now? Big Gray caught Aunt Hu and bit her. What else can we do? We don't dare to go up. It's crazy. If we stop it, it'll definitely bite us too. Hey, the villagers discussed for a while. Although they sympathized with Madame Hu, none of them dared to go up and help her. Big Gray's ferocity was too terrifying. Ah, my heavens, what kind of sin have I committed to raise such a beast? Madame Hu began to cry and wail. While crying, she quickly shook off Big Gray. If she didn't run, she would be bitten to death. The flesh on his arm had been bitten off, and blood was still dripping from the wound. Although her arm hurt, she didn't pay much attention to it because she was hiding from Big Gray. Seeing that she couldn't run away, Madame Hu learned from Zhang Cui, and climbed up the tree. Cui, quickly pull me up. Let me go up too. Zhang Cui, hesitated for a moment. She didn't want to pull Madame Hu up, but seeing Big Gray in front of Madame Hu, she thought that Madame Hu was angry with Big Gray because of her, so she pulled Madame Hu up. The two of them ran up the tree together. Both of them were very miserable. One was bitten on the hand, the other on the butt. Big Gray was still standing under the tree and barking non-stop. Fortunately, dogs don't know how to climb trees. Otherwise, they would definitely rush up the tree and bite the two of them down. Madame Hu patted her chest. It scared me to death. This damn dog wants to bite me to death. Auntie Hu, why didn't you tie up your mad dog properly? Why did you let it out? Look at the wound on my butt. You've really embarrassed me today. Madame Hu curled her lips. Wasn't it fine before? Who knew what had gotten into it today? Look at me, didn't I get bitten too? I lost a piece of flesh, it hurts so much. Zhang Cui, looked at Madame Hu's injuries. Madame Hu's injuries were more serious than hers. I don't care. The dog belongs to your family. I don't care if it bit me, but you have to give me the medical fees and the money to nurse my body back to health. Otherwise, I'll go to Li Zhang's place and make a scene. Isn't that reasonable? Ah, Cui, my dog has gone crazy. What can I do? You must have provoked it. This kind of thing can't happen to our family. Why didn't the others bite you? Madame Hu acted as if she was trying to shirk responsibility. Zhang Cui, immediately became angry. What do you mean by that? Do you still have a reason for your dog to bite someone? Besides, I didn't provoke your dog. Who knows why it came over to bite me? You didn't provoke it, who knows? Madam Who snorted. Chapter 635. You woman, if I had known this would happen, I wouldn't have saved you. You'll have to pay for the medical fees anyway, Madam Who said angrily and suddenly regretted it. The two of them quarreled on the tree, and the surrounding villagers continued to watch the show. What happened today was too strange for them. It was simply unheard of. Zhao Yun'er watched with great interest and relish. The two weirdos had been punished and she felt a sense of satisfaction. Big Gray continued to bark fiercely at the tree as if he wanted to eat someone. Zhao Yun'er hooked up the corner of her mouth. The offspring of a weirdo were all weirdos. She didn't expect that Big Gray would betray his master and listen to her orders after she fed him for 2 days. However, she hated dogs that weren't loyal and didn't know how to feed them. It was impossible to keep them by her side. Not to mention the grudge she had with Big Gray. If she really did raise him, he would definitely turn around and listen to others if someone gave him something to eat. Mulan couldn't help but hold her stomach and laugh after being teased. She felt that Madame Hu and Zhang Chui's encounter was strange. It seems that raising a dog is useful. Whoever comes to make trouble, you can let the dog bite them. It's easier than doing it yourself. I'm going to raise a dog later. Zhao Yun'er smiled and said, Sure, Aunt Lu has a few puppies at home. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to give them away. You can catch one and raise it. Yes, then I'll catch one and raise it. It'll be good to keep it as a guard in the future. Yes. Big Gray stayed under the tree, unwilling to leave. Madame Hu and Zhang Chui didn't know what to do. Old Man Chen hurriedly went to find Zhao Yun'er's eldest father, Zhao Baojun. When Zhao Baojun came over, he was holding a hoe to deal with Big Gray. After hearing Old Man Chen's explanation, he didn't dare to provoke Big Gray too much. The hoe in his hand was his self-defense tool. After Zhao Baojun came, he aimed the hoe at Big Gray. Big Gray was very smart. He knew that he couldn't beat Zhao Baojun. When Zhao Baojun rushed over, he quickly ran away. Madame Hu cursed at Big Gray's back as he ran away. You damn dog, don't come back if you have the guts. If you come back, I'll kill you and make dog stew. Woof woof woof. Big Gray barked a few times and then disappeared. Only then did Madame Hu and Zhang Chui dare to come down from the tree. Ouch, it hurts so much. Madame Hu complained. He was already so old and had lost a piece of flesh. How could he withstand such torment? Zhang Chui's injuries were not light. Her buttocks hurt terribly, but she did not dare to rub them. Tessest. When Cripple Chin heard the news, he limped and rushed over. Teet asked Tesh Chui. Are you all right? Teet, as halves. Teet, why did you only come now? Lame Chin immediately apologized. Chui, I heard the news and immediately rushed over. I didn't do it on purpose. All right, Chui, let's go back. We still have to ask a doctor to take a look at your wound. Old Man Chin sighed. The surrounding villagers started to tease. Lame Chin, it's not easy to see a doctor for your wife's wound. Won't other men see her white and big butt? Chapter 636. No man would want his wife's butt to be seen by others. And in front of so many people by other men, it's fine. Didn't we all see it? There are quite a few men here. We saw it from afar. It's fine. When the doctor sees the wound, he will look at it carefully. When applying medicine, he has to touch it with his hands. The situation is different. That seems to be true. When Cripple Chin heard this, he felt uncomfortable. He felt that what the villagers said made sense. It could only be said that Zhang Chui's wound was not good. It just had to be bitten on the butt. If it had been bitten elsewhere, it would have been easy to deal with, Zhang Chui retorted angrily. You people, it's easy for you to say that. Do I want to be seen by others? If this dog's bite is not treated, let me tell you, even if I die, I will turn into a malicious spirit and drag all of you down with me. Zhang Chui's words were scary. Coupled with her fierce gaze, the surrounding villagers quickly shut their mouths and did not dare to speak. The villagers also had their own taboos and believed in ghosts and gods. They were really afraid that Zhang Chui would come looking for them after she turned into a ghost. They just wanted to talk. They did not want to make a fuss about human lives. All right, Chui, let's go back quickly. Cripple Chen pulled Zhang Chui. No, wait. What's wrong, Chui? We have to make it clear to Mrs. Hu and the others. They have to pay for my medical expenses. Zhao Baojun frowned and said, My wife was bitten to save you. Shouldn't you also pay for our medical expenses? Mrs. Hu quickly agreed, that's right. I was bitten to save you too. It's much more serious than yours. You have to pay for my medical expenses too. Zhang Chui'er put her hands on her waist and scolded angrily, who's to blame when your own dog bit me? Isn't it your own fault? Why is it my turn to pay for your medical expenses? Of course. If I didn't save you, would I have been bitten? Since you want me to pay, I'll make you pay. Zhang Chui'er felt that Mrs. Hu was too unreasonable and started to fight with her. Thus, the two of them started to wrestle together. The scene was spectacular. The villagers tried to persuade them for a while before they were able to pull them apart. In the end, it was a rather reputable old man in the village who came forward to teach them. In the end, they came to an agreement that although the Hu family would lose money, they would only pay half of it. The other half would be borne by the Chen family. Zhang Chui'er still felt that she had suffered a loss, but thinking that it was much better than Madame Hu going back on her word and not getting a single cent, she reluctantly nodded her head in agreement. The ruckus was almost over. After Zhao Yun watched the man leave, the courtyard finally returned to its quiet state. The weirdos had left and they had seen enough of the commotion. Didn't they say that people from the countryside were simple and kind? She really did see a lot of weirdos here. Yuner, I'm done with my work earlier. I'll take my leave first. Mulan stood up and said goodbye. Zhao Yuner nodded. She knew that Mulan was busy and had children to take care of at home. Sister-in-law Mulan, it's fine. You can go back. After Mulan left, Zhao Yuner tidied up her things. In the afternoon, Zhao Wenhua came over to talk to Zhao Yuner about finding Zhao Yuner's eldest uncle and second uncle. Speaking of which, she didn't have much of an impression of Zhao Yuner's eldest uncle and second uncle because they didn't have much contact with each other. Chapter 637. Zhao Wenhua didn't expect Zhao Yun to be so generous. Yun you don't have much tiger meat left. Why don't you keep it for yourself? It's okay, father. Bring it over. I still have a lot of it at home. Zhao Yun didn't want her third branch to be disliked and looked down upon by her eldest and second uncles. She wanted to bring some good things for her eldest and second uncles to see that their family was no longer the same as before. Alright then. Yun let's go tomorrow. Okay. Zhao Yuner's eldest and second uncles lived in Muyu village next door. It wasn't far from Shuilan village, so it wasn't too inconvenient for Zhao Wenhua to go there. After going to her eldest and second uncle's houses tomorrow, she still had to go to the neighboring village in the afternoon to make an appointment with the other bricklayers. Yun, I still have to discuss the wages of the bricklayers with you. How do you think it's appropriate to pay them a day? Zhao Wenhua felt that he couldn't make the decision regarding the money, so he had to ask Zhao Yun for her opinion. Zhao Yun wasn't sure about the average wage for the bricklayers, so she asked about the market price. It was about 2 or 3 copper coins more. After discussing it with Zhao Wenhua, they decided that the bricklayers would be paid 30 copper coins a day. In addition, lunch would be included. In the countryside, this treatment was considered pretty good. Alright then. Yun, let's invite your eldest and second uncles tomorrow. After discussing this matter, Zhao Wenhua went back. Zhao Yun tidied up the vegetable garden in the afternoon. Big Gray, who had run out, saw that Zhao Yuner's house was empty, so he wandered back. Big Gray walked over to Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng and shook his head and tail, looking like he was trying to please them. Mu Lianfeng's lips curled into a smile. He patted Big Gray's head a few times and said with a smile, "Good boy. You did well today. I'll give you something good to eat later." Big Gray understood Mu Lianfeng's words and became even more enthusiastic towards Mu Lianfeng. Zhao Yun looked at this despicable dog and hated it. She didn't know when Mu Lianfeng would deal with it. If he didn't, Little Black would probably be depressed. Because in the past, Zhao Yun and Mu Lianfeng had fed Big Gray eat. Zhao Yun and Zhao Yun. Zhao Yun. Therefore, it was best to get rid of Big Gray as soon as possible. Zhao Yun was curious, but Mu Lianfeng remained mysterious. He didn't tell Zhao Yun what method to use. For dinner, Zhao Yun made a few simple dishes. Mu Lianfeng took out a few sweet potatoes from the corner of Zhao Yuner's house. These sweet potatoes were given by Aunt Lu. Aunt Lu had planted a lot of them last year. Country people didn't like to eat coarse grain, but Zhao Yun liked to eat them very much. These sweet potatoes could be placed in the stove and roasted with charcoal. The sweet potatoes roasted with this kind of wood were more fragrant and sweet than ordinary things. They were even more delicious than the sweet potatoes roasted with charcoal in the 21st century. In addition, they could be roasted and eaten. They could also be boiled with porridge. The sweet taste was sweet. Seeing Mu Lianfeng roasting the sweet potatoes, Zhao Yuner smiled and said, "If others knew, they would say that you suffered at my place." Shi Ziyi actually started to eat coarse grain. "So what?" Mu Lianfeng curled his lips and said with a smile, "Besides, these sweet potatoes aren't for me. I'm going to give them to Big Gray later." "For Big Gray?" Chapter 638. The mysterious smile on the corner of Mu Lianfeng's mouth made Zhao Yun wonder what Mu Lianfeng was up to. "Is it really necessary to be so nice to Big Gray?" Zhao Yun asked with confusion. "Yun, don't worry. You'll find out in a while." Zhao Yun sighed and said to Mu Lianfeng, "All right then." In fact, it was easy to deal with Big Gray. As long as Mu Lianfeng used a little bit of martial arts, he could directly stab Big Gray to death with a knife. Why did he have to do so many things now? Zhao Yun decided to listen to Mu Lianfeng's arrangement and began to prepare the meal. When the meal was ready, Mu Lianfeng buried the sweet potatoes in the fire in the stove. After they finished eating, Mu Lianfeng went to the kitchen and took out the sweet potatoes from the stove. At this time, the sweet potatoes were already roasted and emitted a strong fragrance. Attracted by the fragrance, Big Gray and Little Hay both ran to Mu Lianfeng wanting to have a taste. Seeing Little Hay coming over, Big Gray squeaked at it twice. Little Hay was scared by Big Gray's fierce look and stepped back a few steps, whining with grievance. Big Gray continued to wag its tail at Mu Lianfeng proudly, as if it was saying that the sweet potatoes belonged to it alone and only it could eat them. Woo woo woo. Little Hay whimpered a few times. In the past few days, because of Big Gray's existence, Little Hay had taken away all of Big Gray's attention. Dowdu hurried forward, carried Little Hay and comforted it. "Little Hay, don't cry. I'll take you to eat other delicious food." Saying that, Dowdu carried Little Hay into the room. Zhao Yun stood beside Mu Lianfeng wanting to see what Mu Lianfeng was doing. Mu Lianfeng put the roasted sweet potatoes into cold water, and took them out after a few seconds. Then he threw them on the ground and asked Big Gray to eat them. Big Gray licked the sweet potatoes on the ground with its tongue. Seeing that they were cold, it couldn't wait to take a bite. Woo woo woo. Big Gray howled twice, then lay on the ground, struggling for a few times and stopped moving. Zhao Yun stared dumbfoundedly at the unforeseen event in front of her. She still didn't understand what had happened. What's going on?" Zhao Yun asked after a few seconds. "Yun, Big Gray is dead," Mu Lianfeng said calmly. "Let's get rid of this evil dog." "How? That's too unbelievable." Seeing Zhao Yun's puzzled face, Mu Lianfeng explained to Zhao Yun with a smile. "Actually, the surface of the sweet potatoes was cold, but because they were soaked in cold water, the inside was hot. Humans can't eat such hot food, so dogs naturally can't eat it." That was to say, the dog was directly burned to death after eating the hot sweet potatoes. Even if he didn't directly stab it with a knife, he would suffer more pain. Thinking of that, Zhao Yun trembled. It was a horrible way to die. It was fine if Mu Lianfeng didn't make a move, but once he did, his methods were very cruel. Seeing that Zhao Yun didn't say anything, Mu Lianfeng asked, "Yun, what's wrong with you?" Zhao Yun shook her head and twitched the corner of her mouth. "Nothing. I'm just wondering how you can be so smart to think of such a way." Chapter 639. Zhao Yun glanced at Big Gray on the ground. Since it was such a big dog, she naturally couldn't throw it away even if it was dead. Thus, she said to Mu Lianfeng, "Why don't we skin it and eat dog meat hot pot?" Dog meat tasted even more delicious. However, Zhao Yun felt that eating dog meat was too cruel in her previous life, so she only ate it once and didn't eat it again. However, it was undeniable that dog meat tasted very good. Zhao Yun didn't feel the slightest bit guilty about eating a dog like Big Gray that did all kinds of evil. Mu Lianfeng nodded. "Okay." Mu Lianfeng and Zhao Yun didn't know how to skin the dog, so they called Lu Lei over. When Lu Lei saw the situation at Zhao Yun's house, he was very puzzled. Zhao Yun didn't hide anything and told Lu Lei everything. Lu Lei asked worriedly, "Yun, if you do this, will your young mistress come over and make trouble later?" Lu Lei knew that Madame Hu was an unreasonable troublemaker and wasn't easy to deal with, so he was worried about Zhao Yun's situation. Zhao Yun smiled and said, "It's okay, Brother Lei. After you skin it, who can prove that it's his dog, don't you think so? Right now, my young mistress probably hates this dog to death. As for me, I'm now getting rid of a pest for our village. What if it bites someone again?" Lu Lei had also heard about Big Gray biting someone today. For a vicious dog like Big Gray, it was indeed better to get rid of it as soon as possible. Okay then Yunner, let's skin it and eat it. Lu Lei very neatly peeled the dog fart and finished processing it. Big Gray had a lot of meat on his body. After processing it, he weighed it. It was a total of more than 50 kilograms. With so much dog meat, it was enough to eat for a while. Lu Lei helped to skin it, so Zhao Yunner gave Lu Lei a hind leg. He was only one person, so it was completely enough for him to eat. As for the rest, Zhao Yunner kept them for herself. She would have to distribute them later. Zhao Yunner was going to give one front leg to Mulan and the other leg to Aunt Lu. She was going to keep one for herself. As for the middle leg, she was going to give some to the third branch. With this distribution, there weren't many dogs left. Zhao Yunner had never cooked dog meat before, so she didn't know how to cook dog meat. She could only cook it according to the method of cooking beef. The taste should not be too bad. Yunner, if there's nothing else, I'm going back. Lu Lei said. When Zhao Yunner and Mu Lianfeng were together, he was like a light bulb in front of them. Yes. Brother Lei Zi, be careful on your way back. Lu Lei nodded and left with his lackey. When he reached home, Lu Lei heard some noises in the house. Lu Lei thought that a thief had broken into his house, so he hurriedly yelled into the house. Who is it? A girl's voice came from inside the house. Brother Lu, it's me. It was Xiao Hong. Lu Lei frowned, and when he saw Xiao Hong coming over, he asked, Xiao Hong, why are you here? Xiao Hong smiled and said, Brother Lu, I'm here to give you a pair of shoes. I saw that there was a hole in the shoes on your feet, so I asked my mother to teach me how to make a pair of shoes for you these few days. Otherwise you can't wear leather shoes, right? Lu Lei lowered his head and looked at his shoes. There was indeed a big hole and his big toe was exposed. Chapter 640. This was the downside of not having a woman. Unlike the other people in the village who had their wives by their side to take care of them, they didn't need to worry about these things. Xiao Hong continued, Brother Lu, I came over and found that you weren't at home. Then, I saw that your house was in a mess, so I helped you clean it up and waited for you to come back. Lu Lei looked at his house. It was indeed much cleaner and tidier. The floor was swept by Xiao Hong, the quilt on the bed was folded neatly, and the tables and chairs were wiped clean. As a man, he didn't know how to tidy up his house normally, so he always made the house a little messy. Now that the house was clean and tidy, it was much more comfortable to stay inside. At this moment, he suddenly thought that if he could have a wife, his house would be clean like this every day. In the future, there would be someone to do his laundry and cook for him, and there would also be someone to accompany him. Xiao Hong took out the shoes she made and handed them to Lu Lei. Brother Lu, try them on and see if they fit. If they don't, I'll take them back and change them for you. Lu Lei looked at Xiao Hong blankly and felt a little embarrassed. Brother Lu, try them on. It wasn't easy for me to make them for you. You won't reject them, right? Lu Lei looked at Xiao Hong's worried gaze and couldn't bear to reject Xiao Hong, so he took them and tried them on. He didn't know how Xiao Hong knew the size of his feet, but they fit perfectly. Fortunately, there's no need to change them. Brother Lu, just wear them like this. If you need them in the future, let me know and I'll make them for you. Lu Lei responded, Thank you, Xiao Hong. Xiao Hong smiled slightly and said, Brother Lu, you don't have to be so polite with me. Seeing that Xiao Hong made a pair of shoes for him, Lu Lei felt that he had to repay her with something. He couldn't accept Xiao Hong's favor for nothing and let her work hard for him. Thus he took out a knife and cut half of the dog meat and gave it to Xiao Hong. Xiao Hong, this is dog meat. It's best if you take it back with your father's wine. Xiao Hong didn't stand on ceremony and asked curiously, Brother Lu, where did you get this dog meat? Lu Lei naturally wouldn't say that it was Zhao Yun'er who killed Big Gray of the Hu family. He casually replied, Someone gave it to me. Xiao Hong tactfully did not pursue the matter. Then Brother Lu, thank you. If she brought the dog meat back to her father to eat with wine, her father would definitely be very happy. At that time, his impression of Lu Lei would also increase. Thinking of this, Xiao Hong felt a little happy. Lu Lei felt that it wasn't good for Xiao Hong to stay in his house for too long, so he hurriedly urged her to go back. Xiao Hong did not shamelessly insist on leaving. She knew that this would only make Lu Lei feel disgusted. Then Brother Lu, I'll take my leave first. Thank you for the dog meat. It's fine, Xiao Hong. Thank you for the shoes too. Yes. Xiao Hong left with a red face. Looking at Xiao Hong's departing figure, Lu Lei fell into deep thought. Could he choose to marry Xiao Hong? Since it was impossible for him to be with Zhao Yun'er, he couldn't be single for the rest of his life. The next morning, Zhao Yun'er woke up early and went to the town to set up a stall. She hadn't woken up early for a long time. This time, she suddenly felt a little uncomfortable and dozed off along the way. Chapter 641. Yuner, are you so sleepy because you had sex with Prince Shitzi until late at night? After Mulan asked, Zhao Yuner understood what Mulan meant when she saw the ambiguous smile on her face. She blushed at once. Sister-in-law Mulan, please don't tease me. Prince Shitzi and I haven't done it yet. Zhao Yuner said in a low voice. Although she lowered her voice, Liang Jinxiao, who was sitting in the car, still heard it. Liang Jinxiao was Zhao Yuner's mother, so it was inappropriate for her to tell Zhao Yuner about it. After all, it was indeed very awkward for mother and daughter to talk about it. Mulan was different. Mulan was only 2 or 3 years older than Zhao Yuner, so she could talk to Zhao Yuner about it. Hearing that Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng hadn't had sex until now, Mulan couldn't help but feel a little surprised. Yuner, are you lying? Mulan, don't look at me like that. There's really nothing going on between Prince Shitzi and me. Mulan saw that Zhao Yuner was serious and didn't seem to be lying. Yuner, haven't you been sleeping on the same bed with Prince Shitzi these days? Zhao Yuner nodded and said, yes, I've been sleeping on the same bed with Prince Shitzi. Her house was only so big so it couldn't fit 2 beds. She could only squeeze in with Mu Lianfeng. Mulan sighed in her heart and began to gossip. Yuner, Prince Shitzi is really good at controlling himself. It's said that when a man and a woman sleep on the same bed, something will always happen. I didn't expect that you've slept on the same bed for so long and nothing has happened. If Mulan didn't know that Daodu was Mu Lianfeng's son, she would have suspected that Mu Lianfeng had sex problems. What's wrong with that? It's not like something has to happen, right? Zhao Yuner muttered. Mulan sighed and clicked her tongue in admiration. Yuner, Lord Heir is truly a good man. If it was an ordinary man he would definitely not be able to stand it. Prince Shitzi wanted to be responsible for you, but you didn't agree so he didn't touch you. Zhao Yuner remained silent. She was right. Mu Lianfeng did want to touch her, but he was rejected by Zhao Yuner, so Mu Lianfeng didn't force her. All in all, Mu Lianfeng was a good man, not an animal who thought with his lower body. He respected her opinion. In this era such a man was very rare. Mulan still couldn't figure it out. Yuner, you're not young anymore. Didn't you think about sex when you slept on the same bed with Prince Shitzi? Mulan thought about herself. When she was Zhao Yuner's age, she had already married Zhu Eru. When she was young and energetic, she would pester Zhu Eru every night. If she didn't have sex with him at night, she would feel uncomfortable. Being asked by Mulan, Zhao Yuner blushed and didn't know how to answer. Mulan, aren't you ashamed to talk about sex with me? What's there to be ashamed of? When you talked about me in the past, I didn't see you being shy. Now that I'm talking about yourself, you're shy. Haha Yuner, in fact we'll go through it. Don't be shy. Zhao Yuner felt that her face was burning. Why did Mulan become so? Well, she didn't see Mulan's flirtatious side before. She had a dirty heart. Chapter 642. If she continued talking, Zhao Yuner would probably find a hole and hide in it. Mulan didn't ask any more questions, but Zhao Yuner was thinking about it on the way. Her relationship with Mu Lianfeng was almost developed. Should she consider having sex with him next? After all, Mu Lianfeng wasn't young anymore. If he held it in for too long, what if he got sick from holding it in? After a while, they arrived at the town and started setting up the stall. She hadn't been here for a while, so there was a layer of dust on the table. Because she had rested for a while, business was obviously not as good as before. Perhaps she didn't think that her breakfast stall would continue, so she didn't come here. At around 7 o'clock she saw Yi Li dressed in black, walk over coolly and sit at Zhao Yuner's stall. Zhao Yuner went up and said with a smile, "What a coincidence. I've rested for so many days and only set up my stall again today. How did you know that I would come here today?" Yi Li looked up and glanced at Zhao Yuner. The corners of his mouth curved into a smile as he replied, "It's not a coincidence. I come here every day to take a look, but I've been waiting until today. May I know why you haven't been here recently?" "It's been raining recently. Rainy days are too troublesome. I couldn't come so I didn't come. So that's how it is. I thought something had happened to you." "Ah, thank you for your concern. We're fine." "That's good." Yi Li muttered, but he looked a little disappointed. Zhao Yuner felt that Yi Li was a little strange. She thought that he was unhappy because he had waited for them for so many days. "Order whatever you want to eat. In the future you can eat and drink here for free. You don't have to pay." However, Yi Li shook his head and said, "That won't do. I will still pay what I need to pay." When I run out of money one day you can give me a free meal. Zhao Yuner smiled. All right then. Do as you wish. Yes. In the morning, Zhao Yuner's business wasn't doing very well. But because of Yi Li's charm, many people came over, so the things that Zhao Yuner prepared were all sold out. Therefore it was all thanks to Yi Li. Looking at the man's cold and handsome appearance, Zhao Yuner couldn't help but touch her chin. How could there be such a good-looking person? His kung fu was so high. He was so cool. It was normal for women to be attracted to him, right? Yi Li caught Zhao Yuner's attention, and Yi Li suddenly looked at Zhao Yuner. When their eyes met, Zhao Yuner felt a strange feeling. She quickly avoided Yi Li's gaze. She said to Mulan and Liang Jinxiao, "Sister-in-law Mulan, mother, let's pack up the stall and go back." Zhao Yuner heard a soft sigh. Zhao Yuner wasn't sure if it was Yi Li or if she was hallucinating. After packing up the stall, they went to the market to do some shopping. They saw that they had bought everything they needed. Liang Jinxiao said to Zhao Yuner, "Yuner, I want to buy a few quilts." Zhao Yuner asked curiously, "Mother, what are you buying quilts for?" "We've decided with the family Qin on the date of your sister Pinger's wedding. It's going to be on the 8th of next month. We don't have new quilts at home and we don't have cotton to play with, so we'll just buy a few quilts." Chapter 643. Since Zhao Pinger was getting married, the third branch of the family had to prepare blankets for Zhao Pinger's wedding. It was already the 4th of March and the Qingming festival would arrive in a few days. There was not much time left until the 8th of the next month. "Mother, I know a shop that sells blankets. The prices are relatively cheaper. I'll take you there." Liang Jinxiao replied, "All right then." Zhao Yuner led Liang Jinxiao to a shop that sold blankets. It was the shop where her family bought blankets previously. Zhao Yuner wanted to see if the old lady was there. If it was not the old lady but the woman named Kai Feng, Zhao Yuner would have to consider the price before deciding whether to buy the blankets. The reason why she came to this shop was because the prices of the other shops in Yang City were too expensive. She wanted to save as much money as she could on unnecessary expenses. When Zhao Yuner went over, the old lady was there. Although it was not necessarily cheaper, Zhao Yuner preferred to deal with people like this. The old lady's daughter-in-law was really too annoying. The old lady also remembered Zhao Yuner. When she saw Zhao Yuner coming over, she smiled and welcomed her. She asked Zhao Yuner, "Miss, are you here to buy blankets again?" Zhao Yuner nodded. The old lady asked Zhao Yuner to look around the shop and finally decided on 6 blankets. The 6 blankets were bought with cotton from last year, so the price was much cheaper. Compared to the price Zhao Yuner paid last time, it was 1 copper coin less per kilogram of blankets. After all, the weather was getting warmer and fewer people were buying blankets. If she accumulated the blankets in her hands and bought them again in winter, the cotton would be older and it would be difficult to sell them. The old lady was very happy that Zhao Yuner had bought so many blankets this time. After buying the blankets, she was about to go back when she saw 2 figures enter the shop. It was none other than Zhao Yuner's second aunt, Wu Jinju, and her cousin Liang Xinyue. Zhao Yuner's second aunt, Wu Jinju, was in her 30s. Because the Liang family was not very poor, the women in the family ate well and did not need to work much. They took good care of themselves and looked much fairer and younger than Liang Jinxiao. Liang Xinyue was the daughter of Zhao Yuner's second aunt Wu. She was 16 years old and beautiful. The girls in Liang Jinxiao's family were not ugly. After all, they had good genes. When she saw Wu Jinju and Liang Xinyue, Liang Jinxiao's wife, "Why are you here? What a coincidence." Wu Jinju glanced at Liang Jinxiao, who came forward, but did not show much enthusiasm. She only replied indifferently, "Hey, isn't this eldest sister?" When Liang Xinyue saw Liang Jinxiao, she simply ignored her and did not even greet her eldest aunt. Wu Jinju and Liang Xinyue's attitude was because they thought that Liang Jinxiao's old Zhao family was not well received. Old Zhao's family was poorer than the Liang family, and Liang Jinxiao had borrowed food from her mother's family from time to time. Therefore they looked down on Liang Jinxiao. The Liang family was very powerful and did not care about kinship. Chapter 644. Liang Jinxiao was about to recommend this method, but she was coldly interrupted by Wu Jinju. "That's enough, sister. You don't have to say any more. You're only buying these cheap things because your family is poor. My family isn't like yours. My family's Yuer has found a good marriage, and I don't want to let her use the quilt that I prepared for her dowry in a shabby manner." Wu Jinju's tone sounded like she was proudly showing off, which made people feel very uncomfortable. Liang Xingyue raised her chin arrogantly and looked down on Liang Jinxiao. Zhao Yun'er's mouth twitched involuntarily. What was going on? What a weirdo. Looking at Wu Jinzhu's tone and attitude, Zhao Yun'er felt that he was even more annoying than those people from old Zhao's family. Although some people from old Zhao's family were weirdos, they did not have such a high and mighty attitude. Thus Zhao Yun'er tugged at Liang Jinxiao and said to Liang Jinxiao, "Mother, forget it. You're kind enough to introduce him, but he doesn't appreciate it. Why are you still talking so much?" Zhao Yun'er's words attracted Wu Jinzhu's and Liang Xinyue's attention. Wu Jinzhu stared at Zhao Yun'er, and then the corner of her mouth raised into a sarcastic smile. "Oh, isn't this my niece who got pregnant before marriage and lost the face of the family?" When Zhao Yun'er saw Wu Jinzhu's face, she wanted to go up and slap her again. She wanted to see if she would continue talking nonsense. In the end, she controlled herself. She knew that if she really hit Wu Jinzhu, it would be her parents who would be embarrassed. Thus, she endured it and decided to ignore this kind of person. Just as she was about to leave with Liang Jinxiao, Wu Jinzhu's sarcastic words rang out again. "Tisk tsk tsk. What an uneducated person. Don't you know how to greet your second aunt? Eldest sister, it's because you haven't had a good upbringing. It's fine if you don't have any sense of shame, but now you don't even know how to be a person. What's the point of keeping such a daughter? If it were me, I would just throw him into the pond and drown him." Zhao Yun'er curled her lips and sneered, "Second aunt, I was raised by my mother. When did second aunt have the right to tell me what to do? You said that I didn't have any manners and didn't greet you. Your cousin, isn't she the same? Why does she know to greet my mother as an elder? Second aunt, I think you'd better discipline your own daughter before you talk about my mother." When Zhao Yun'er said this, Wu Jinzhu didn't know how to refute. Liang Xinyue looked at Zhao Yun'er angrily. She actually said that she had no manners. Wu Jinzhu looked at Zhao Yun'er in front of him and felt strange. In the past, this niece of his was very timid and cowardly. No matter what others said, she wouldn't reply. Now she actually knew how to talk back. Wu Jinzhu couldn't win against Zhao Yun'er, so he vented his anger on Liang Jinxiao. "Eldest sister, you really raised a good daughter. How can you talk to your elders like this? Do you still think I'm your second aunt?" Liang Jinxiao sighed secretly in her heart. Seeing Wu Jinzhu's angry look, she didn't know what to say. In fact, she agreed with Zhao Yun'er in her heart, but she didn't want her relationship with Wu Jinzhu to be too stiff. After all, Wu Jinzhu was her second sister-in-law. She was a girl married out of the Liang family. She couldn't cut ties with the Liang family in the future. Chapter 645. Hearing Liang Jinxiao's words, Wu Jinzhu's attention was diverted. "Of course. Forget it. I won't argue with you. After all, we're not on the same level. I saw that you bought so many quilts. Could it be that Yun'er has found her husband's family? The quilts you gave Yun'er as her dowry are made of Chen cotton. I think Yun'er's husband's family isn't very good. Anyway, it's already good enough for a woman who gets pregnant before marriage to find her husband. It doesn't matter whether the man is poor, ugly, or disabled. As long as she can get married and not embarrass her family, it's fine." Wu Jinzhu began to talk to himself. Hearing that, Zhao Yun'er's lips twitched violently. She couldn't help but think that this woman was so dramatic. How could she make something out of nothing out of the ordinary? Liang Jinxiao smiled embarrassedly. "No, Jinxiao, it's not for Yun'er's wedding." Wu Jinzhu continued to mock with a smile. "Hasn't Yun'er found her husband's family yet? Alas, what a pity. Jinxiao, Yun'er can't go on like this. I think you'd better get her married as soon as possible. Isn't there an old widower in Muyu village? Why don't I ask someone to help you talk to Yun'er about her marriage? In this way, your family can receive a sum of money as a wedding gift." After Wu Jinzhu finished speaking, Zhao Yun'er couldn't stand it anymore. Liang Jinxiao was also displeased. Zhao Yun'er glared at Wu Jinzhu. You don't need to worry about me. You're greedy for money, but it doesn't mean that my mother is the same. If you like money so much, why don't you sell my cousin to a brothel? She can earn dozens of taels of silver per person. It's definitely more than the wedding gift you received, right?" After Zhao Yun'er finished speaking, Wu Jinzhu clenched her teeth and scolded Zhao Yun'er. "What are you talking about, you lowly hussy? I'm doing this for your own good. Why don't you take a look at your own virtue? How can my Yun'er be compared to you?" Liang Xinyue also said angrily, "I'm not such a shameless person. I'm not even married yet, and I'm already having an affair with a wild man. I even got myself pregnant. Jinxiao, you should go back and teach your daughter how to behave. She's such a disgrace. Zhao Yuner looked at the mother and daughter who were echoing each other. She only felt that it was funny. She glanced at them coldly. Aunt, you're an elder, so I'll let you have your way. But if you dare to say another word, don't blame me for tearing your mouth apart. Anyway, if you don't say it, I'm an uneducated person. I won't blame my conscience for doing anything to you. I'm not afraid of anything. Zhao Yun'er's sharp eyes scared Wu Zhenju. He muttered a few words of dissatisfaction and didn't dare to say anything more about Zhao Yuner. Zhao Yuner laughed in her heart. Sure enough, she had to be more forceful when dealing with certain people. The more you let them have their way, the more they would bully you. Jin Xiao Yuner isn't going to marry. Why did you buy so many quilts? Wu Zhenju asked again. In fact, she was more concerned about where Liang Jinxiao got the money to buy these quilts. Although it wasn't very expensive, it would cost about 1 tael of silver to buy 6 quilts at once. Liang Jinxiao was so poor that he even had to borrow food. How could he take out so much money? Chapter 646. Wu Zhenju and Liang Xinyue were even more surprised when they heard Liang Jinxiao say that Zhao Ping'er was going to get married than when they heard that Zhao Yun'er was going to get married. Wu Zhenju smacked his lips and asked in disbelief, Sister, Ping'er actually managed to find a husband? Zhao Yun'er was so surprised when she saw Wu Zhenju's expression that even her jaw dropped. She couldn't help but complain in her heart. Isn't it just Zhao Ping'er getting married? Is there a need to make such a fuss? Liang Xinyue directly exclaimed, Zhao Ping'er is such an ugly woman. How can she get married? Oh my god, I wonder who is so blind. Liang Jinxiao was so embarrassed that she didn't know how to reply to Wu Zhenju. If her Ping'er heard Wu Zhenju and Liang Xinyue's words, she would probably be heartbroken. It just so happens that the matchmaker introduced her to a family and the 2 children made do with each other. Wu Zhenju couldn't help but criticize her again. Sister, he must be poor and can't find a wife, so he married your Ping'er, right? Liang Jinxiao twitched the corner of her mouth. That child's family is a little poor. Wu Zhenju pretended to be sympathetic. Sister, you're so pitiful. You married your Ping'er to a poor man, and you probably didn't even receive a single copper coin as a gift. Now that you've bought so many quilts, it seems that you're prepared to pay for it. Disque sister, speaking of which, you're also a poor person. You raised 2 daughters and they're both like this. One is worse than the other. As for Zhao Yuner, Wu Zhenju didn't dare to say anything about Zhao Yuner because of her warning. From Wu Zhenju's tone and expression, it was clear that Wu Zhenju looked down on Zhao Yuner's family. Liang Xinyue chuckled. Mother, you're wrong to say that. Even if cousin Ping'er loses some money, it's still a good thing for her to get married. Otherwise she'll have to eat for the rest of her life. It's much better than losing money. When Wu Zhenju heard this, she nodded in agreement. That's true. My Yu-er is so lucky to be able to marry into a good family. When the time comes, she will be able to bring her parents to enjoy life. Liang Xinyue said proudly, Mother, of course. I will definitely be filial to you and father when the time comes. Zhao Yuner couldn't stand it anymore. 2 weirdos, 2 weirdos. From the moment they met until now, they had been belittling them and praising themselves all the time. They were all ordinary people, so Zhao Yuner didn't understand why Wu Zhenju and Liang Xinyue had such a sense of superiority. Zhao Yuner pulled Liang Jinxiao's sleeve and said to Liang Jinxiao, Mother, if you don't want to be scolded anymore, you'd better leave now. Liang Jinxiao nodded. Even if she wasn't sad, Zhao Yuner would be sad when her second sister-in-law scolded Zhao Yuner like that. Second sister-in-law will leave now. Wu Zhenju just nodded. Zhao Yuner and Liang Jinxiao carried the quilt into the car. When Wu Zhenju saw Zhao Yuner's donkey, he couldn't help but ask, Sister, does this donkey belong to you or is it rented? It belongs to my family. Your family? Sister, where did your family get the money to buy a donkey? Yuner bought it, not me. It's all Yuner's money. Hearing Liang Jinxiao's words, Wu Zhenju was even more curious. Where did Yuner get the money? Chapter 647. Wu Zhenju snorted coldly. If you don't want to say it, then don't say it. I'm guessing that it must be some shady business. Otherwise, why wouldn't you dare to let others know? Zhao Yuner really didn't want to talk to this kind of person. She could say whatever she wanted. Their mouths belonged to them and she couldn't stop them from doing so. Moreover, no matter how nasty other people's words were, she wouldn't lose anything. Second aunt, you can say whatever you want. We're going back first. Zhao Yuner said coldly. Seeing that Zhao Yuner was about to leave, Wu Zhenju hurriedly called out to Zhao Yuner. Wait a minute, Yuner girl. Since your family has a donkey, why don't you send us back? Zhao Yun'er's lips curled into a sneer. She didn't know how Wu Jinzhu had the nerve to say such a thing. Second aunt, can't you see that my donkey is already pulling 3 people? There are so many things on top of that. How can I bring the 2 of you along? Wu Jinzhu pursed his lips. He was very displeased. Zhao Yun'er couldn't be bothered with Wu Jinzhu. She patted Xiao Mao's butt and said to Xiao Mao, let's go. Let's go. Xiao Mao understood Zhao Yun'er's words. It took off and flew away. In a short while it was far away. On the way back, Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but sigh at Liang Jinxiao's family's weirdos. If she had known this would happen, she wouldn't have let Zhao Wenhua look for her eldest uncle and second uncle. If her eldest uncle and second uncle were like Wu Jinzhu, she definitely wouldn't have let them work. Liang Jinxiao sighed and said, Yun'er, don't argue with your second aunt. She's that kind of person. Mother, I won't argue with her. But we should interact less with them in the future. They look down on us anyway. Oh, okay. Actually, we don't interact much with them. We might not even meet once a year. Yes. This was also what Zhao Yun'er felt gratified about. Otherwise, she would be annoyed to death if those people strolled in front of her every day like old Zhao's family. Xiao Mao quickly brought the 3 of them back to the village. In the late spring, the farm work became busier. Many people had to go down to the fields to weed. When Zhao Yun'er sent Liang Jinxiao home, Zhao Ping'er was in the courtyard. Ma Xiaofeng and Zhao Tianan were also standing in the courtyard. They were chatting happily. Zhao Tianan stood beside Ma Xiaofeng looking very shy. Even so, Zhao Tianan still couldn't help but get closer to Ma Xiaofeng. His eyes peeked at Ma Xiaofeng from time to time. When Zhao Yun'er saw Zhao Tianan's reaction, she knew that her younger brother had been poisoned. She sighed slightly in her heart. When they heard the sound of the carriage, several people looked in the direction of Zhao Yun'er. Ma Xiaofeng was obviously a little nervous when facing Zhao Yun'er. She didn't dare to look into Zhao Yun'er's eyes. However, she still went forward and greeted Zhao Yun'er. Sister Yun'er, you're back? For the sake of Zhao Tianan's face, Zhao Yun'er responded indifferently. Ping'er, I bought your dowry quilt today. Liang Jinxiao said to Zhao Ping'er. Looking at the brand new quilt on the carriage, Zhao Ping'er smiled happily. Mother, thank you. What are you thanking me for? Mother, you're so nice. You child, you're my daughter. If I don't treat you well, who else can I treat well? Chapter 648. Her family was poor, so she couldn't afford many things. In addition, in her mother's eyes, she was just a good-for-nothing, so she had to leave everything at home to her younger brother. She didn't have any complaints. After all, it wasn't easy for her family, and her younger brother's marriage was troublesome. If she didn't think about her younger brother now, it would be more difficult in the future. It was precisely because of this that she had to find a good family. Only by marrying a rich man could she eat and drink well, and help her family live a good life, so they wouldn't have to suffer. Sister Ping'er, congratulations. Ma Xiaofeng's tone had a hint of envy. Thank you, Xiaofeng. When I get married, we won't have many opportunities to be together. We probably won't be able to see each other much in the future. It's okay, Sister Ping'er. You can come back to your parents' home more often. Won't we be able to see each other then? Yes, Xiaofeng. I have to come back a few more times for you. Yes. Zhao Yun'er saw Zhao Ping'er and Ma Xiaofeng acting like sisters and couldn't help but want to laugh. She didn't know if Zhao Ping'er had a pig's brain. Chu Chu was scheming against her, but she was still so close to her. Second sister Xiaofeng is the one who sent us the chicken grass. Zhao Tianan hurriedly said to Zhao Yun'er, wanting Zhao Yun'er to have a good impression of Ma Xiaofeng. Really? Yes. Zhao Yun'er looked at the chicken coop. A few chickens were burying their heads and eating a few pieces of grass. Liang Jinxiao hurriedly said, Thank you, Xiaofeng. Ma Xiaofeng smiled shyly. You're welcome, Auntie. My family also needs chicken grass, so I just sent some over. Haha, thank you still. Mother, you don't have to be so courteous with Xiaofeng. When Tianan and Xiaofeng get married in the future, we'll be a family. Zhao Ping'er teased from the side. Zhao Tianan immediately lowered his head shyly, while Ma Xiaofeng looked at Zhao Ping'er coquettishly. Sister Ping'er, Xiaofeng, you don't have to be shy. You and my brother are very suitable. It's best if you two are together. When you two get married, we'll be even closer. Don't you think so? Liang Jinxiao smiled awkwardly and did not know what to say. He glanced at Zhao Yun'er and felt very worried. According to the current situation, it would be difficult to separate Ma Xiaofeng and Zhao Tianan. Just as Zhao Yun'er was about to leave, Zhao Wenhua returned. She went to her eldest uncle and second uncle's house today, but looking at the situation, Zhao Wenhua's expression was not right. He did not seem to be very happy. Seeing Zhao Wenhua frowning, Zhao Yuner asked, "Father, what's wrong with you?" Sigh. Zhao Wenhua sighed and said, "Yuner, your eldest uncle and second uncle said that if they want to help, they have to pay 5 copper coins a day more than the other bricklayers. They can't pay the same price as outsiders. If they don't pay 5 copper coins more, they won't come over." Zhao Yuner frowned. Hearing Zhao Wenhua's words, she was also very angry. If we give my eldest uncle and second uncle more for the same job, how will the others be convinced? If the other bricklayers knew about it, they would definitely not be willing to work more than her eldest uncle and second uncle. On the other hand, Zhao Yuner was angry that they were all relatives, but they were so calculative. Since they were a family, shouldn't they not ask for remuneration? Besides, the price she paid was not low, so there was no need to calculate so clearly. Chapter 649. She was too lazy to serve them. Zhao Wenhua sighed. "All right, Yuner, let's not look for your eldest uncle and second uncle." Okay. Although there weren't many bricklayers, there were still some. It would be good if they could find a few bricklayers. They could also find 2 ordinary workers to help them, and the house would definitely be built. "All right, there's one more thing." "What's wrong, father?" "Sigh, your eldest uncle and second uncle said that since we have the money to build a house now, we should return the 3 loads of grain that we borrowed from them previously. We have borrowed the grain for a few years, and we have to add another load of grain as interest. We have to return 4 loads of grain in total." After Zhao Wenhua finished speaking, he continued to sigh. 4 loads of grain was 400 kilograms, and 1 load of grain was 500 to 600 copper coins. 4 loads of grain was more than 2 taels of silver. This wasn't a small amount. Liang Jinxiao couldn't help but ask, "Previously my mother said that we should forget about the grain. Why did she ask for it now?" Zhao Wenhua was very helpless. Yuner's eldest uncle said that things are different now. In the past we couldn't return the grain, but now we can even build a house. Naturally we have to return the grain. Liang Jinxiao felt her heart ache. That was her biological brother, and he was actually so calculative with her. In the past few years, Zhao Wenhua had helped the Liang family a lot when they were busy farming. On one hand, Zhao Wenhua was busy working in the Zhao family's fields, and on the other hand he had to help the Liang family. At that time he was really exhausted and didn't have any rest. After helping so much and working hard for so many years, how could it not be worth 3 loads of grain? Zhao Yuner really couldn't complain about her eldest uncle and second uncle's whole family. Indeed, birds of a feather flocked together. Weirdos simply gathered together. As for the few loads of grain, Zhao Yuner planned to ask Zhao Wenhua to return them. In the future they shouldn't have any contact with Liang Jinxiao's family. Zhao Yuner was afraid that if she didn't return the money, the Liang family would think that they owed them. Once their lives improved, the Liang family would come over to take advantage of them. On the contrary, Zhao Yuner's family would suffer. "Father, mother, did old Zhao's family eat these 3 dan of grain together?" Zhao Yuner asked. "That's right. At that time our old Zhao family was having a hard time. That's why we had to borrow some food. Then if we return the grain to first uncle and second uncle, old Zhao's family should be more forgiving. We can't just borrow the grain for everyone to eat and then return the grain to the 3rd branch." Zhao Wenhua seemed to be in a dilemma. "Now that we've separated from the family, it's not convenient for us to tell your grandparents." "Father, what's so hard to say? Didn't they eat the grain?" All right, I'll go and discuss it with your grandfather." Zhao Yuner nodded. She didn't want the 3rd branch to suffer this loss. Old Zhao's family had taken advantage of them for nothing. She didn't care about the small amount of money. When Zhao Wenhua entered Zhao Baoshan's house, she heard curses coming from the house. It was Hua Chunhua. After that, Zhao Baoshan said something, and Hua Chunhua finally agreed to take out the money. "Oh, where's my money? Why is 3 taels of silver missing?" Hua Chunhua's roar came again. Zhao Wenhua hurriedly asked, "What's wrong, mother?" "The money is missing." "Mother, look for it again." "Don't worry." Hua Chunhua rummaged through the cupboard for a while, but she still couldn't find it. It's missing, it's missing, it's missing, the money is missing. Who the hell took my money?" Hua Chunhua rushed out of the house crying and screaming. She shouted towards the yard, and the rest of old Zhao's family came out of the house. Chapter 650. Zhao Wenshi leaned forward and asked with concern, "Yes, mother. What happened? Why are you yelling like this?" "Mother, calm down. Speak slowly. We are a family. What can't be solved? Hua Chunhua slapped her thigh and cried, I lost my money. Which one of you went into the house and took my money? Old Zhao's family members looked at each other. They were a little confused by this sudden situation. Mother, what did you say? You lost your money? Did you make a mistake? Zhao Wenshi asked embarrassedly. Hua Chunhua glared at Zhao Wenshi. Do you think your mother is so old that she made a mistake? Hua Chunhua might not pay attention to other things, but she was very clear when it came to money. She would know if a penny was missing. Mother, have you searched the house? Yes, I've searched everywhere but I didn't find it. Tell me which one of you went into the house and took the money. Tell me honestly. Hua Chunhua said angrily. The money couldn't have disappeared. Someone must have taken it. Mother, how could we have taken the money? We haven't separated from the family yet. Isn't the money in your hands? No one has taken it for so many years. That's right, Mother. If we have any use for it, we will ask you for the money directly. Who would take the money? Mother, we didn't take it. You can look again. Old Zhao's family members insisted that they didn't take the money. Hua Chunhua also felt that it was impossible for them to have taken the money. After all, although the money was kept by her, it was used by old Zhao's family members. For so many years, no matter how anxious they were to use the money, they had never stolen it. If it's not you, then it must be the third branch. You just separated from the family, and you're already thinking about my money. Hua Chunhua looked at Zhao Wenhua's family suspiciously. Old Zhao, tell me. Did you take the money? You're the only ones living in the entire courtyard. Other than your branch, there's no one else. Zhao Wenhua frowned. Mother, what are you talking about? Why would I take your money? Liang Jinxiao also hurriedly said, Mother, we would never do such a thing. You can't just say that we took the money when you lost it, right? The third branch wasn't willing to take the blame for this. After all, it really had nothing to do with them. Hua Chunhua snorted, If it's not you, who else could it be? Are there other people living in our courtyard? Could it be a thief? Don't say that my money grew wings and flew away. Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao felt helpless. Zhao Yun couldn't take it anymore. They weren't fools, so they had to take the blame. The corners of her mouth curled up and she sneered. Grandmother, how did you lose your money? That's your problem. You don't have any evidence, so how can you accuse the third branch of the family of stealing it? Besides, Grandmother, we only steal money because we don't have money. Our family is preparing to build a big house now so we can earn a lot of money ourselves. Why would we have the time to steal your money? Hua Chunhua didn't know how to refute Zhao Yun'er's words. Zhao Yun'er's words made sense. The third branch of the family could build a big house for a few dozen taels of silver. Zhao Yun'er could earn money, and the heir was so rich. Why would he be interested in her 3 taels of silver? But where did the money go? Chapter 651. Mother, you're right. I also feel that someone stole the money. Zhao Wenxue hurriedly chimed in. Then who could it be? Who came to our courtyard? Mother, no one came. Who else came these days besides third brother's future son-in-law? Hua Chunhua shook her head. No, the money was still there when I counted it 2 days ago. Qin Yuan came 2 days ago, so it couldn't be Qin Yuan. Then who could it be? As they were talking, their gazes fell on Ma Xiaofeng, who was at the side. In the past 2 days, only Ma Xiaofeng came by twice, so Hua Chunhua targeted Ma Xiaofeng. Little Feng, did you steal my family's money? Ma Xiaofeng was stunned. How could she say that? Being questioned by Hua Chunhua, Ma Xiaofeng pouted and said, Granny Zhao, it wasn't me. I don't steal. It wasn't you? If it wasn't you, then no one else came to my house. You learned how to steal at such a young age. I have to call your mother over and ask her how she raised a thief. Hua Chunhua didn't mind making a big deal out of it. Ma Xiaofeng suddenly became anxious. If the villagers came over and heard Hua Chunhua's nonsense, what would she do if they thought she was a thief? In the village, reputation was very important. She also wanted to save face. If she was treated as a thief, she would be drowned in saliva. Li Chuiying muttered in front of Hua Chunhua, Mother, I think it's very likely that little Feng stole the money. After all, their family is so poor. Yes, I think so too. Hua Chunhua nodded and said coldly to Ma Xiaofeng, Little Feng, hurry up and hand over the money you stole. Otherwise, we'll have to report it to the authorities. When the time comes, I'll throw you in jail. Ma Xiaofeng immediately panicked and shook her head. Granny Zhao, it really wasn't me. I didn't steal your family's money. Ma Xiaofeng felt wronged. She was framed by old Zhao's family. She was about to cry. Hua Chunhua snorted softly. Xiaofeng, you brat. Not only did you steal things, you even lied. With such a character, who would dare to marry you in the future? At this time, some villagers came over and heard the whole story. They also thought that Ma Xiaofeng must have stolen it. Granny Zhao, it wasn't me. I never steal from others. Ma Xiaofeng continued to defend herself. Some villagers believed Ma Xiaofeng's words. They had never seen Ma Xiaofeng steal from anyone. Auntie Zhao, is there a misunderstanding? Misunderstanding? What misunderstanding could there be? I didn't see anyone else in my house except her. Could it be that someone else in the village stole it? Hua Chunhua replied angrily. When Hua Chunhua said this, the villagers fell silent. What if Hua Chunhua put the blame on them? They were all decent people and didn't steal from others. They couldn't be called thieves by Hua Chunhua. No one wanted to get into trouble for an unrelated person. They just came to watch the show. Ma Xiaofeng felt that it was hard for her to defend herself. If she had known, she wouldn't have come to Zhao Yun'er's house. She didn't achieve her goal and was now wrongly accused of stealing 3 taels of silver. Hua Chunhua walked in front of Ma Xiaofeng and pushed Ma Xiaofeng. You brat, quickly hand over the 3 taels of silver that you stole. Woo-woo, Ma Xiaofeng was pushed to the ground by Hua Chunhua and started to cry. Chapter 652. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I didn't steal it. Zhao Yun'er glanced at Ma Xiaofeng, who was lying on the ground. She felt sorry for her. Hua Chunhua had gone too far. She had also said that Dao Du didn't have a father and wasn't educated. Zhao Yun'er wondered whether Ma Xiaofeng had stolen the money. After thinking for a while, she ruled it out. Mom, maybe Xiaofeng stole it. She seems quite honest. Zhao Wenshui glanced at Ma Xiaofeng, who was lying on the ground, and defended her. After all, Ma Xiaofeng was Chen Chuanxiu's daughter. Given his relationship with Chen Chuanxiu, he couldn't leave Ma Xiaofeng alone. Otherwise, Chen Chuanxiu would definitely make a fuss about it. It would be impossible for him to have sex with Chen Chuanxiu in the future. Wenshui, why are you defending an outsider? Hua Chunhua gave Zhao Wenshui a glare with displeasure. I'm not defending an outsider. I just feel that if Xiaofeng wasn't the one who stole the money, we would be wronging her. Why would you say that? She can prove that she didn't steal the money. Mom? Zhao Wenshui sighed. When he was about to say something, Li Chuiying gave him a look. Zhao Yun'er originally thought that Zhao Wenshui helped Ma Xiaofeng because of the deal between Chen Chuanxiu and Zhao Wenshui. However, when she caught a glimpse of the guilt in Zhao Wenshui's eyes and saw Li Chuiying's meaningful glance, she frowned and guessed that her second uncle might have stolen the money. Sister. Zhao Tianan pulled Zhao Yun'er's hand. What's wrong? Elder sister, can you please save Xiaofeng? Zhao Yun'er was confused. Tianan, why do you think I can save her? Second sister, you are so powerful. No one can outtalk you. You can definitely help Xiaofeng. Zhao Yun'er glanced at Zhao Tianan. Her younger brother was extremely anxious at this moment. If she didn't help, she reckoned that Zhao Tianan would blame her for the grievances that Ma Xiaofeng had suffered. In his heart, he would have complaints and grudges against her, his second sister. Zhao Yun'er sighed in her heart. Regarding Hua Chunhua's slanderous accusations, Zhao Yun'er could not bear to watch. Thus, she raised her voice and said to Hua Chunhua, Grandma, do you know that a false accusation can backfire? If you send her to the authorities and say that she stole from our house, there will be no evidence. You will have to stay in jail. Hua Chunhua curled her lips and said, How can there be no evidence? This girl was the only one who came to our house. She came in the daytime. Master was lying in the room. How could she steal under my watch? Well, besides, when she came, Pinger and Tianan were both there. There were 2 people watching her. How could she steal the money? Well, after being casually questioned by Zhao Yun'er, Hua Chunhua couldn't refute. Zhao Tianan looked at Zhao Yun'er with gratitude and admiration. Ma Xiaofeng, who was lying on the ground, also looked over with gratitude. What Yun'er said makes sense. Auntie Zhao is really too much. How is Xiaofeng going to live in the village in the future if she says that? That's right. Xiaofeng has been wronged for nothing. Don't worry. Xiaofeng's mother will definitely make trouble later. Haha, then there will be a good show to watch later. Chapter 653. Zhao Yun'er curled up her lips. Grandma, it's your business who stole the money. It has nothing to do with anyone else. It's hard to guard against thieves in the family. You have to think carefully about who in our family is so short of money that they stole your money. After Zhao Yun'er finished speaking, Hua Chunhua was lost in thought. She couldn't think of a reason at the moment. She was unwilling to accept it. 3 taels of silver. There wasn't much money left at home. Now she lost so much money all of a sudden. Without evidence, she couldn't blame anyone. Hua Chunhua panicked when she thought about it. She sat down on the ground and burst into tears. Old Zhao's family hurried forward to help Hua Chunhua up. Mom, don't cry. Let's look for the money again. We'll definitely find it. Mom, crying won't solve the problem now. Don't cry. It's easy to hurt your body if you cry too much. Let's continue to think of a way. Wah, my money, my 3 taels of silver? I can buy a lot of things with them. Hua Chunhua couldn't listen to old Zhao's family's persuasion. She was still crying loudly. Zhao Yun'er's lips trembled. Looking at Hua Chunhua's appearance, she felt it was ridiculous. Losing money was even sadder than losing her parents. Seeing that Ma Xiaofeng's innocence was proven, Zhao Tianan went forward to comfort her. Xiaofeng, it's okay now. Don't be sad. Ma Xiaofeng nodded. If she was really wrong this time, she wouldn't be able to clear her name even if she jumped into the Yellow River. Yes. It's all thanks to Sister Yun'er. My second sister is so awesome. My grandma can't answer with just a few words. Yeah, if it wasn't for Sister Yun'er, I wouldn't know what to do. Xiaofeng, did you see that? My second sister helped you this time. It means that she doesn't dislike you. Otherwise, she definitely wouldn't help you. Ma Xiaofeng's sister lit up. It would be great if that was the case. Zhao Yun'er heard the conversation between Zhao Tianan and Ma Xiaofeng. She really didn't know what to say about her younger brother. She was simply blinded by love. To the woman he loved, what was she, his biological sister, to him? Thinking of this, Zhao Yun'er suddenly felt a little sad. Zhao Yun'er, I didn't expect you to be so smart. Seeing that Zhao Yun'er helped Ma Xiaofeng, Zhao Ping'er also praised Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er smirked. She was smart? Actually, it was just that there were too many brainless people who didn't think about it carefully. There were clearly so many suspicious points and loopholes. Of course. Do you think everyone is as stupid as you? Zhao Yun'er replied to Zhao Ping'er sarcastically. You? Zhao Ping'er looked at Zhao Yun'er angrily. Father, mother, I'm going back to cook first. Zhao Wenhua and Liang Jinxiao both nodded and responded. Zhao Yun'er drove Xiaomao back home. Mu Lianfeng and Daodu were in the courtyard. Daodu seemed to be in the horse stance and Mu Lianfeng was guiding him. Zhao Yun'er saw this and asked curiously, what is Daodu doing? Mu Lianfeng saw Zhao Yun'er coming back and explained with a smile, I'm teaching Daodu Kung Fu. Yes, mother, Daodu wants to learn Kung Fu from father so that he can protect the people he wants to protect. When Daodu grows up, he will be able to protect mother. Chapter 654. Learning Kung Fu was not a bad thing. With one more ability to defend oneself, not to mention protecting others, but to protect herself, at least it would reduce the chances of Daodu being bullied by others. However, learning Kung Fu wasn't easy either. Learning Kung Fu at such a young age made it very difficult for Daodu to persist. Mu Lianfeng was very strict with Daodu. He made Daodu persist in the horse stance for a long time. In the end, Daodu's forehead began to sweat, and his little lips began to tremble. If Mu Lianfeng didn't tell him to stop, Daodu wouldn't stop. He continued to persist. Seeing Daodu unable to persist, Zhao Yun'er couldn't help but feel distressed. Mu Lianfeng, Daodu has been in the horse stance for so long. It's about time, right? Mu Lianfeng shook his head. Although he also felt distressed for Daodu, he didn't have the slightest bit of softness or slack off for Daodu. No, it won't be effective if it's not time. Since Daodu said he wanted to learn Kung Fu, he has to persist. He can't give up halfway, right? Zhao Yun'er sighed. She felt that Mu Lianfeng was too strict with a child. Mother, don't worry about Daodu. Daodu can do it. Daodu bit his lower lip and said to Zhao Yun'er, Daodu is awesome. Zhao Yun'er didn't know what else to say. After about a quarter of an hour, Mu Lianfeng finally stopped Daodu. Zhao Yun'er hurried forward and wiped the beads of sweat off Daodu's forehead. She was very distressed. Then she pinched Daodu's arms and legs, hoping that he would feel more comfortable. Mother, Daodu is fine. Daodu's little face was filled with determination. Before Daodu started learning Kung Fu, Mu Lianfeng had made it clear to Daodu that if he decided to learn, he would have to endure hardships. If he couldn't endure hardships, then he should give up early. Daodu gritted his teeth, confident that he could hold on. How could I be fine? So tired? Mother, Daodu is really fine. Daodu is a man now. All right then, Daodu is a man. Zhao Yun'er lovingly patted Daodu's head. Mu Lianfeng also stepped forward and praised Daodu generously. Dowdu is the best. Sure enough, it was his son just like him. This kind of perseverance wasn't something that ordinary people didn't have. For Dowdu to persist at such a young age, it was rare that he didn't cry out in pain or exhaustion. Dowdu smiled shyly. Dowdu is so good. Father, shouldn't you reward Dowdu with something? Mu Lianfeng rubbed his chin and thought for a moment. What does father want to reward Dowdu? Dowdu looked at Mu Lianfeng expectantly. How about this, father will reward Dowdu with a wooden horse. When Dowdu grows up, father will give Dowdu a real horse, okay? Dowdu immediately became excited when he heard this. Okay, father. All right then, father will find some time in the next 2 days to help Dowdu build a wooden horse. Okay. Zhao Yuner quietly watched the interaction between the father and son, and the corners of her mouth curled up. Having a father by Dowdu's side was indeed better than having a mother like her. Sometimes she couldn't completely imagine what Dowdu wanted. In fact, children who grew up in normal families would want their parents by their side. The family casually ate something for lunch. In the afternoon, Mu Lianfeng handed Dowdu to Zhao Yuner and said to Zhao Yuner, Yuner, I'm going to Yang City to get some medicine for your scar removal. Chapter 655. Mu Lianfeng agreed. If Zhao Yun went with them, the doctor could take a look at the scar on her face and prescribe the right medicine. The ointment he gave would definitely be able to remove the scar more easily. Then Yun, you have to make breakfast in the afternoon? I'll let Mulan and my mother do it. It's actually not difficult. It's not much. Alright. After the meal, they rested for a while. When Mo Yen brought the horse over, the two of them rode towards Yang City. The horse was naturally faster than Xiao Mao. The two of them arrived in 10 to 20 minutes. Mu Lianfeng asked around. Everyone thought that the doctor was Hua Tua. Plus, his surname was Hua, so they called him Miracle Dr. Hua. Miracle Dr. Hua didn't live in the downtown area of Yang City. Instead, he lived somewhere outside of Yang City. Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng searched for a while before they finally found out where Miracle Dr. Hua lived. When they rushed over, they saw a courtyard that was built with a house made of bamboo. The courtyard was surrounded by a fence. There were many flowers and fruit trees in the courtyard. It was spring and the peach blossoms had bloomed. The whole courtyard was filled with peach blossoms. It was very beautiful. Zhao Yun couldn't help but sigh when she saw this scene. She wanted to make her own house like this when she got back. Looking at Miracle Dr. Hua's residence, Zhao Yun roughly knew that Miracle Dr. Hua's personality was probably that of a reclusive person. When the two of them arrived at Miracle Dr. Hua's house, the door to the courtyard was closed. They called out a few times before a medicine boy came to open the door. He looked unhappy and said to Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng, Why are you so loud? My master is taking an afternoon nap. Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng were embarrassed. They said to the medicine boy, Sorry, we didn't know that Miracle Dr. Hua was taking an afternoon nap. We're here to ask for medicine. The medicine boy looked at Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng. Ask for medicine? It's not easy to get my master's medicine. This medicine boy looked no more than 12 or 13 years old, but when he spoke to Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng, he had a proud look on his face. We have to give it a try. Other than Miracle Dr. Hua, I don't know where else we can get the medicine. My master is sleeping right now. He can't see you. Don't worry, we'll wait for Miracle Dr. Hua to wake up. Alright then, come in and wait. Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng responded and followed the attendant into Divine Dr. Hua's courtyard. The courtyard was quite big. It was surrounded by tall trees and verdant bamboos. It was very quiet. There was also a small pond in the courtyard. The water was clear and there were a few goldfish swimming in it. There were also some unknown flowers in the surroundings, all of them bright red. The medical apprentice beckoned Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng to the stone stools under the grape trellis and sat down. Then he brought 2 cups of water over. Although this medicine boy was very proud just now, he wasn't careless when it came to serving people. Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng weren't in a hurry. They could admire Miracle Dr. Hua's courtyard. Mu Lianfeng, let's make the house like this in the future, okay? As long as you like it. I'm fine with anything. Alright then. When our house is built, I'll make it like Miracle Dr. Hua's house. Living in such a house was also a kind of enjoyment. Zhao Yuner started to look forward to it. After waiting for about an hour, the medicine boy came over and said, You can go in. My master is awake. Alright, thank you. Chapter 656. As soon as Zhao Yuner entered the house, she could smell the fragrance of herbs. There was an old man with a white beard sitting in the house. He was facing a table with herbs on it. Seeing Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng walking over, Dr. Hua didn't even lift his head. Facing Dr. Hua's indifference, Mu Lianfeng went up and cupped his hands respectfully. Dr. Hua, I brought my wife here to ask for medicine. After Mu Lianfeng spoke, Dr. Hua raised his eyelids and asked indifferently, Ask for medicine? What medicine are you here for? Dr. Hua, I'm here to ask for medicine to remove scars. My wife accidentally got a scar on her forehead. Miracle Dr. Hua's eyes fell on Zhao Yuner's body again, and he said faintly, No. Mu Lianfeng was puzzled. Dr. Hua, why not? I don't prescribe medicine for people easily. Haven't you asked around? But Dr. Hua, my wife really needs it. I wonder if you can make an exception for her this time? No. Dr. Hua shook his head again. I don't have time for that. Mu Lianfeng's mouth twitched. He didn't see anyone else coming to Dr. Hua's place, so why was he saying that he didn't have time? Dr. Hua, you can state your conditions. As long as you can prescribe medicine for me, we can discuss the remuneration. Dr. Hua looked at Mu Lianfeng unhappily. Remuneration? Are you talking about money? Do you think I care about such a tacky thing? Even if you give me 10,000 taels of gold, I won't be moved. Mu Lianfeng and Zhao Yuner were stunned. Dr. Hua didn't want money, so what could attract him? Dr. Hua, I'm sorry for being rude. An expert like you naturally wouldn't care about money. Divine Dr. Hua snorted lightly, but his attitude was much better than before. Seeing that Miracle Dr. Hua was ignoring them, Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng were in a dilemma. What are you all waiting for? Hurry up and leave, I like peace and quiet. Miracle Dr. Hua started chasing them away. Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng looked at each other. Dr. Hua, can't you make an exception for us? You can have anything you want. We'll get it for you. Divine Dr. Hua snorted. This old man doesn't have many hobbies. I just like flowers, plants, delicacies, and wine. However, ordinary flowers and delicacies can't attract this old man. You guys better not think about these. Since that's the case, my wife and I will make the arrangements first. If Divine Dr. Hua is satisfied, I hope that you can pass the medicine to my wife. Alright, we'll talk about it when you're pregnant. Don't disturb my peace and quiet now. Miracle Dr. Hua waved his hand and continued to chase them away. Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng had no choice but to leave. Although they didn't succeed in getting the medicine, they knew what Miracle Dr. Hua liked, so it was much easier. It was better than not knowing where to start. Yuner, don't worry. I'll send someone to look for some expensive flowers and delicacies. I'll definitely get the medicine for you. Zhao Yuner smiled. You can just send someone to look for the flowers and plants. Leave the delicacies to me. All right. Mu Lianfeng knew that when it came to cooking delicacies, Zhao Yuner wasn't bad at all. In fact, she could even cook better than many people. She could cook a lot of dishes that had never been eaten before. Perhaps Miracle Dr. Hua would like these new dishes. Chapter 657. One was mushroom soup made from the mushrooms on the mountain. The other was braised pork with soy sauce that she was good at, and the other was pork intestines in a fragrant pot. She believed that Miracle Dr. Hua had never eaten these dishes before. She would wait until she finished her work in the town tomorrow to deliver the dishes to Miracle Dr. Hua. When she went back, Liang Jinxiao and Mulan were still at her house. The two of them chatted while making breakfast. When Zhao Yuner came back, Mulan said, Yuner, it's going to be Qingming Festival in a few days. Every family has to go to the grave. I don't think we have time to go to the town to set up a stall that day. Can we rest for a day? Zhao Yuner nodded. Of course. Qingming Festival was a big day for the villagers. Basically, every family would go to the grave. Zhao Yuner's family had to go as well. Even if they went to the town to sell breakfast that day, there wouldn't be many people. It was better to rest for a day. That's good. I was worried that you wouldn't agree. It would be noisy at home. Every Qingming Festival, the whole family has to go to the grave. Mulan breathed a sigh of relief. Yes, after all, it's our ancestor. If we don't burn some paper money for Qingming Festival, they won't have a good life in the underworld. Liang Jinxiao chatted. That's right, Auntie. In the past, the Li family in our village didn't go to the grave every Qingming Festival. Later, the ancestor appeared in a dream and said that they were living a miserable life in the underworld. If they didn't go to the grave to burn some paper money, they would be dragged down. At first, the Li family didn't believe it. Later, some people in the family fell ill and almost died. They quickly went to the grave to burn paper money. Then their illness was cured. I heard about it too, so we still have to go to the grave. With the ancestors' blessing we can be safe and sound. It's only a few times a year. No matter how busy we are, we have to make time. Yes, besides we're not that busy. Zhao Yuner listened to the conversation between Mulan and Liang Jinqiao. It was really mysterious. She did not believe in these things. After all, she lived in the 21st century in China and was an atheist. But when he thought about how his soul could transmigrate into the body of the original owner, there was nothing impossible in this world. Mother, are we going back to worship our ancestors with Master and the others? Liang Jinqiao answered, yeah, let's go together as a family. Your father and grandparents have already agreed. Not all the things that need to be prepared for the ancestral worship will be bought by our family, right? Zhao Yun liked to calculate clearly, otherwise old Zhao's family would take advantage of the third branch again. Oh, I haven't told you yet. Then mother, you should ask father to tell grandpa and grandma that we, the third branch, will definitely take care of some of the things needed for the ancestral worship. They can't let us buy all of them. Zhao Yuner said. Got it, Yuner? I'll tell you when we get back. Okay. Hearing Zhao Yuner's words, Mulan felt that she had to tell the family Zhu clearly when she went back. The things that needed to be bought for the ancestral worship had to be divided among the three branches. After Mulan and Liang Jinqiao left Zhao Yuner's house, Mu Lianfeng came forward and said, Yuner, I have to go back to worship our ancestors on the Qingming festival. Do you want to go with me? Zhao Yuner was stunned, then shook her head and said, no, we're not married yet. If she went back with Mu Lianfeng, she would have to use her identity to worship their ancestors again. She would probably be looked down upon by old Madame Mu. Chapter 658. He had a son, which was what his parents wanted the most. When they were alive, they wanted to see him get married and have children. They wanted to bring Daodu back to worship their ancestors so that his parents could rest in peace. Zhao Yuner was silent for a while. Is Daodu your biological son? Doesn't that mean that he has acknowledged his ancestors? If your grandmother knows about Daodu's identity, I'm afraid that she will take him away from me. Zhao Yuner knew that with old Madame Mu's temperament, she would accept Daodu but not her. Obviously, it was not a good time for Daodu to acknowledge his ancestors. Yuner, don't be afraid. I'll go back this time to see my grandmother's attitude. As for Daodu's identity, I've acknowledged him as my godson before, so I'll let Daodu participate in the worship of our ancestors as his godson. His purpose was only to let his deceased parents see that he had his own child. Zhao Yuner heard Mu Lianfeng's words and nodded. Okay, you can take Daodu back. Thank you, Yuner. In the afternoon, Zhao Yuner went to the foot of the mountain to pick some mushrooms. It had just rained, so many mushrooms had popped out in the forest. There were many kinds of mushrooms. He casually picked a few and filled a basket with them. Her family couldn't eat all of them, so Zhao Yuner gave some to Mulan's family. She cooked a plate of mushrooms while they were still fresh. They tasted absolutely delicious. When she arrived at Mulan's house, family Zhu and his family were all there. Zhu Sanlu was sitting in the yard, basking in the sun. He had rested for a while, but he still looked pale. When he saw Zhao Yuner coming over, a pair of perverted eyes fell on Zhao Yuner. Zhao Yuner glared at him, but Zhu Sanlu smiled, thinking that Zhao Yuner was winking at him. When Zhao Yuner saw the cheap smile on Zhu Sanlu's face, she felt disgusted and quickly looked away. Yuner, why are you here? Mulan stepped forward and asked. I brought you some mushrooms. You can burn them and eat them. Zhao Yuner said and handed the mushrooms in the basket to Mulan. Mulan looked at the colorful mushrooms, took them and said with a smile, Yuner, thank you. I was thinking about what to eat tonight. Since you brought the mushrooms over, let's eat mushrooms tonight. Yeah, it's fresh. It's delicious. When Madame Qi saw this, she came over and said in a sour tone, Second sister-in-law, you can't eat this mushroom carelessly. Otherwise you'll have a stomachache. Sister-in-law, it's okay. Yuner's family has eaten it before. Madame Qi snorted, you didn't listen to my kind reminder. I'll poison you to death later. Although Madame Qi said this, her eyes looked greedily at the mushrooms in the basket. There were only a few dishes at home every day and she was tired of eating them. She really wanted to change it. Zhao Yuner's mouth twitched and she said sarcastically, you're just saying that the grapes are sour because you can't eat them. When did I say that? Madame Qi pursed her lips and said, it's not something good. Others don't want it. Only you treat it as a treasure. Zhao Yuner, I think you're up to no good. Are you trying to poison my second sister-in-law's family? Mulan couldn't help but say, Sister-in-law, what are you talking about? This is good stuff. It's not poisonous. Yuner has eaten it several times. It's delicious. Besides, if Yuner wanted to poison me, would she do it so openly? When Madame Qi heard Mulan say that the mushrooms were delicious, she couldn't help but swallow her saliva. Chapter 659. With that, Madame Qi turned around and left in a huff, ignoring Zhao Yuner and Mulan. Mulan said to Zhao Yuner a little embarrassedly, Yuner, my sister-in-law is like that. Don't mind her. Zhao Yuner pursed her lips. It's fine. Even if she minded, it would be towards Madame Qi. How could she bicker with Mulan? Actually, my sister-in-law has been quite pitiful recently. Mulan sighed as she spoke. Because of the incident between Madame Qi and Zhu Sanlu, Zhu Dainiu had been paranoid all day long, thinking that Madame Qi would do something to let him down. If Madame Qi didn't appear before him when he called her, he would beat and scold her when she returned. Mulan, some people deserve sympathy while others don't. You just have to live your life well. You don't have to be so kind to care about others. Yuner, I know. I'm just saying. So, as the two of them were chatting, a child's voice came from the courtyard. Father, I can't defecate. Come and help me. The person who spoke was Mulan's sister-in-law's daughter, Zhu Qiao. Madame Qi was in the kitchen, so after Zhu Qiao mentioned it, Madame Qi asked Zhu Dainiu to go over. Dainiu, go and see what's wrong with Qiao. She's been defecating for an hour, but she still can't defecate. Don't damage her nipples. Zhu Dainiu put down what he was doing and said to Madame Zhu, Mother, go and see Qiao. Madame Zhu was too lazy to go, so she declined. Dainiu, you should go by yourself. I'm already so old. It's not convenient for me to bend over and squat. I can't stand the torment. Zhu Dainiu thought about it and agreed. All right then. Mother, you rest. Let third brother go. Third brother, go and see why Qiao can't defecate. If Zhu Sanlu was asked to work normally, Zhu Sanlu would definitely not do it. But this time he agreed. All right, big brother, I'll go. With that, Zhu Sanlu ran in Zhu Qiao's direction. Looking at Zhu Sanlu's wretched face, Zhao Yuner knew why. The Zhu Sanlu was a pervert. Previously he had molested Zhu Erhua. This time he most likely wanted to see Zhu Qiao's lower body. Damn pervert. Although Zhao Yuner disliked Madame Qi, she still couldn't bear to see Zhu Sanlu do such a disgusting thing. Moreover, Zhu Qiao was just a child. She was innocent and should not be treated like this. Zhao Yuner hurriedly pushed Mulan and asked her to remind Zhu Dainiu. After all, she was just an outsider. It was not good for her to get involved in family Zhu's business. Mulan understood Zhao Yuner's meaning and knew what Zhao Yuner wanted to say. Big brother Qiao, you should look at it yourself. How can you trouble third brother with this? Mulan said to Zhu Dainiu. Zhu Dainiu replied indifferently, Why? Why can't I trouble third brother? He eats and drinks at home every day and doesn't do anything in the fields. What's wrong with doing a small thing now? Mulan hurriedly waved her hand. Big brother, that's not what I meant. Then what do you mean? Big brother. Qiao is a girl after all. She's 7 or 8 years old. It's not good for third brother to see her. Have you forgotten about my Erhua? After being reminded by Mulan, Zhu Dainiu finally reacted. Second sister-in-law, you're right. I'll do it myself. Zhu Dainiu hurriedly ran towards Zhu Qiao. Chapter 660. Zhu Dainiu was instantly enraged. Looking at his third brother's wretched face was enough to infuriate him. Fortunately, Mulan reminded him, otherwise, he was wondering when his third brother had become so diligent. So it was because of this. Zhu Dainiu walked over and kicked Zhu Sanlu. Zhu Sanlu was lying on the ground with his limbs in the air. He cried out, ouch, ouch. His injuries were not light and he was in great pain. Big brother, why did you kick me like that? And so hard. It really hurts. Zhu Sanlu pouted and said with an aggrieved face. I asked you to come over and take a look at Qiao Er's condition. Why are you looking at her like that? Is my daughter still going to get married in the future? Big brother. You're thinking too much. Qiao Er didn't do anything. Alright, get lost. You don't have to trouble yourself. Zhu Dainiu looked at Zhu Sanlu with disdain. Zhu Sanlu felt even more aggrieved. He had to come and go as he pleased. What did he think he was? So be it. Qiao, what's wrong with you? You can't pull it off? Zhu Dainiu asked Zhu Qiao. Zhu Qiao nodded heavily. Yes, Dad. I can't pull it off, but I want to pull it off. Xiao, did you use all your strength? Zhu Daniu asked again. Dad, I used all my strength. I used a lot of strength, but I can't pull it off. Then don't pull it off, okay? Come, put on your pants. No, Dad. If I don't pull it off, it will be very uncomfortable. Zhu Qiao made a fuss. Then what should we do? Zhu Daniu frowned, looking as if he did not know what to do. Mulan walked forward and saw the situation. She said to Zhu Daniu, Big brother, this is very normal. It's fine. Let Qiao continue to pull it out. You can take a wooden stick and help Qiao slowly pull it out. Zhu Daniu was stunned. What? Take a wooden stick out? Then wouldn't he have to use a wooden stick to dig out feces? How could a man like him do such a thing? Mulan nodded and said, Yes, big brother, this is a very normal thing. Several of my children have been like this before. I helped them pull it out, otherwise they would feel uncomfortable if they couldn't poop out. Zhu Daniu furrowed his brows. That meant that he had to take it out. It was better to leave it to Madame Qi. A man like him would never do such a thing. Thus Madame Qi, who was in the kitchen, shouted, Wife, quickly come out and help Qiao, dig out the poop. Madame Qi was too lazy to come out, so she replied, Daniu, you can do it. Why do I have to come out? I still have to cook. Woman, are you coming out or not? Niu Daniu said somewhat angrily. Hearing Zhu Daniu's tone, Madame Qi was so scared that she hurriedly rolled out. I'll do it. Daniu, don't be angry. Zhu Daniu snorted. Hurry up and help Qiao, dig out the poop. Don't let Qiao, feel uncomfortable holding it in. Got it? Madame Qi squatted down with some displeasure. She was fine, but she had to come over to dig out the poop. She was not very happy. She directly vented her anger on Zhu Qiao. She pulled Zhu Qiao and said, Hurry up and poop. Don't waste my time. Mother, I'm pooping, but I can't pull it out. Zhu Qiao saw that Madame Qi's expression was not good. She said carefully, afraid of angering her mother. Chapter 661. She knew that Madame Qi had a bad temper and liked to hit children. When Madame Qi heard Mulan's words, she felt even more disgusted. I still have to take it out slowly, just take it out when I tell you to. Hurry up. Since second sister-in-law has already done it, why can't you do it? Zhu Daniu urged angrily when he saw Madame Qi dilly-dallying. Madame Qi pursed her lips. Then. All right then, she would just take it out. Madame Qi picked up a small wooden stick and slowly dug out the feces in Zhu Qiao's anus. She was disgusted. She thought to herself that she would definitely teach this brat a lesson later. How dare she make her do such a thing? After she was done digging out Zhu Qiao's feces, she quickly wiped Zhu Qiao's butt. Zhu Daniu was a little puzzled. Second sister-in-law, do you know why Qiao can't take the feces out? Zhu Daniu was worried that something had happened to the child and whether she would get sick, so he asked casually. Mulan only knew that this was a normal thing. She didn't know why, so she shook her head. Zhao Yun explained from the side, it's because she usually eats too little oil. Without some oil in her intestines, it's naturally not easy to take the feces out. She just needs to eat more oil. Zhao Yun felt that the child was too pitiful, so she told Zhu Daniu. Zhu Daniu nodded. So that's how it is? His displeased gaze then landed on Madame Qi. Did you hear that? When you go back, give Qiao some oily food. Don't stuff anything delicious into your mouth. The child hasn't eaten her fill yet, and you're already taking care of yourself. Madame Qi was usually like what Zhu Daniu said. If there was anything delicious at home, she would eat it first, then her husband and son, and finally her daughter. Madame Qi felt that it was useless to feed her daughter too much. Her daughter was a money-losing girl. When she grew up and got married, she would belong to another family. She would not be able to take care of her in her old age. Daniu, I'm not eating for myself. Our son is only a few months old and needs my milk every day. If I don't eat more, where will I get the milk to feed him? You're so reasonable. Zhu Daniu lightly snorted. You can eat by yourself, but now that Qiao is like this, you have to make something delicious for her alone. Got it? Daniu, cook her a bowl of fried rice later. Add more sesame oil. Okay. Zhu Daniu replied. Hearing that she could eat fried rice, Zhu Qiao couldn't help but lick her lips. She was very greedy. Zhao Yun'er glanced at Zhu Daniu. She felt that Zhu Daniu was not a bad person. He treated her daughter well, much better than some people. Some people valued boys too much and did not treat their daughter as a person. Daniu, I'll continue to cook then, Madame Qi said. She ran away and busied herself in the kitchen. When Zhao Yuner saw this, the corner of her mouth could not help but twitch. Could this Madame Qi be a little more hygienic? She dug out Zhu Qiaoer's feces and went to cook without washing her hands. What a weirdo. Fortunately, she did not have to eat Madame Qi's cooking. Otherwise, she would feel disgusted just thinking about it. Mulan, I'll go back then. Zhao Yuner said goodbye. Okay, Yuner, go and cook. Okay. Chapter 662. After dinner, the family sat in the house to rest. Daodu snuggled into Mu Lianfeng's arms. Daddy, Mommy, can Daodu ask you a question? Daodu looked up and asked. Mu Lianfeng smiled dotingly. Of course, Daodu can ask whatever you want. Daddy, Daodu feels that something is very strange. What's strange? Daddy, why do you pee standing up while Mommy and I pee while squatting? After Daodu asked this question, he put on a cute expression. Zhao Yuner and Mu Lianfeng looked at each other and didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Mu Lianfeng didn't know how to explain it. After thinking for a while, he said, actually, Daodu can also pee standing up. You're still young, so you're only squatting. If you don't believe me, you can try standing up. Daodu listened to Mu Lianfeng and stood up to pee. Sure enough, he peed out without wetting his clothes. Daddy, it's really possible. Of course. Mu Lianfeng patted Daodu's head dotingly. Daddy, can Mommy do this? Mommy, you can pee standing up too. It's much more comfortable than squatting. Zhao Yuner's mouth twitched. She didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Daodu, you can, but Mommy can't. Why? Mommy, Daodu used to pee while squatting like you. Because Daodu is a boy and Mommy is a girl. Girls can only pee while squatting. Really? Yes. Then it's a good thing that Daodu is a boy. It's so cool to pee while standing up. Daodu looked very excited. Zhao Yuner smiled helplessly. Daodu was probably just doing it on a whim, right? In the face of Daodu's strange question, Zhao Yuner did not find it strange, because she had also studied it when she was young and was curious about it. At that time, when she saw a boy peeing while standing there, she imitated him. In the end, she peed all over her pants and was chased and beaten by her grandmother, who scolded her and called her a silly girl. Now that he recalled that incident, he still found it very amusing. She suddenly burst into laughter, causing Mu Lianfeng and Daodu to look at her. Yuner, what are you laughing at? I still think it's good to be a man. It's convenient for men to do anything. How good would it be if I were a man? Mu Lianfeng said sadly, Yuner, if you were a man, what would I do? Would there still be a woman who could move his heart? Even if I'm a man, it's fine. We're still together. As long as two people love each other, regardless of gender, age, or other things. And Mu Lianfeng was shocked by Zhao Yuner's words. Yuner, I'm not gay. Haha, I'm just kidding. Don't take it seriously. Yuner, I hope you'll always be a woman. That way I'll always be with you. Zhao Yuner was instantly unhappy. That won't do. Wouldn't it be too pitiful to be a woman forever? You should let me be a man instead, right? In the future, I'll let you be with me. After Zhao Yuner finished speaking, she covered her mouth. She wished she could slap herself a few times for saying such things. She did not dare to look into Mu Lianfeng's eyes. Mu Lianfeng's lips curved into an ambiguous smile. Alright, then in the next life I'll be a woman and you'll be a man. But in this life, when will you be able to enjoy my pleasure? Chapter 663. Zhao Yuner smiled awkwardly. Let's talk about it in the future. Move a little further away. Being close to me makes me nervous. Mu Lianfeng stopped smiling. He decided not to tease Zhao Yuner because Zhao Yuner was blushing furiously at this moment. The family went to bed after a warm moment. The next day, Zhao Yuner woke up early as usual and busied herself with the breakfast stall. When she went to the breakfast stall, she saw that there were more customers than yesterday. The customers probably knew that she had come to set up the stall again. With Yili around, there were even more customers. After selling the stall in advance, Zhao Yuner said to Liang Jinxiao, Mother, I'll go buy some pig's offal later. Liang Jinxiao was stunned. Why do you want to buy pig's offal? That thing can't be eaten. It's smelly. Zhao Yuner smiled and said, Mother, although it smells bad, I have a way to deal with it. Not only will it not be smelly, but it will also be very delicious. Really? Yes, you'll know when I let you try it later. Although Liang Jinxiao didn't dare to believe that pig's offal could be made into such delicious food, since it was Zhao Yuner who said it, then it was more or less the case. After all, her daughter could make so many delicacies that she had never seen before. Yun, why did you suddenly think of eating pig's offal out of the blue? Why didn't you eat it before? Mulan asked curiously. Zhao Yun'er smiled. Because there was delicious food at home before, but I didn't think of eating it. This time I have a scar on my forehead, so I went to a godly doctor to ask for medicine. However, this godly doctor doesn't care about money and is more interested in delicious food. I wanted to make something that he hasn't tasted before. Maybe I can ask for medicine. Zhao Yun'er explained. Mulan nodded and said, "Oh, I see. Yun'er, no one has ever eaten the pig offal you made. If it tastes good, that would be great. If it doesn't, you'd better not frighten people. Otherwise, it would be even harder to get the medicine." Zhao Yun'er smiled. "Don't worry, sister-in-law Mulan. You'll know when it's done. When the time comes, don't yell that it's delicious." After Zhao Yun'er said that, Mulan and Liang Jinxiao became curious. How did Zhao Yun'er make pig offal taste good? Yili hadn't left yet. He sat at the stall and stretched out his ears to listen. He looked very gossipy. Zhao Yun'er turned around and saw Yili like this. She couldn't help but smile and ask, "Are you listening to our conversation?" "No. No. If you want to chat with us, then do so. It's fine. You don't have to act like a thief." Yili's face stiffened. Zhao Yun'er said that he was acting like a thief? She didn't. Actually, he was only concerned about Zhao Yun'er's situation. After Zhao Yun'er turned around, he realized that there was indeed a scar under Zhao Yun'er's bangs. It affected Zhao Yun'er's beauty. Yili thought to himself that he had to help her get rid of the scar. Seeing that Yili didn't say anything, Zhao Yun'er continued to smile. "We're packing up. You should go back too. I'll bring you pig offal tomorrow." Zhao Yun'er thought that Yili stretched out his ears to eavesdrop. It was probably because of the pig offal. After all, this man also had a soft spot for good food. He ate a lot at her stall every day. He was simply a foodie. Yili's heart warmed slightly. Okay. After packing up the stall, Zhao Yun'er, Mulan, and Liang Jinxiao walked towards the market. Chapter 664. She didn't want to forget about these things. When they arrived at the meat stall, Zhao Yun'er asked the boss about pig offal. Because Zhao Yun'er had always bought pork from this stall and had sold a lot of pork, the boss gave a very low price. "Miss, this thing can't be sold very well. If you want, I can give you 3 to 5 caddies," the boss said with a smile. Usually they sold it for 1 copper coin per caddy, so the boss didn't think much of it. Zhao Yun'er didn't refuse. "Thank you, boss. Miss, you're too polite. I'm counting on you to help me sell more goods in the future." "Haha, okay. Don't worry, boss. If I want to buy meat, I'll definitely come to your place." That's good, that's good. The boss responded happily. As he spoke, he took out a few skewers of pig offal from the bucket, tied them with a straw rope, and handed them to Zhao Yun'er. Zhao Yun'er took it and was about to leave with Liang Jinxiao when she heard a woman's voice behind them. "Big sister." Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Yun'er both turned around and saw 2 women. One was about 18 or 19 years old, about the same age as Zhao Yun'er, and the other was about the same age as Liang Jinxiao. These 2 people were Zhao Yun'er's second aunt and cousin. Zhao Yun'er thought that it was really a coincidence that she had met the Liang family these 2 days. She had never met them before. Zhao Yun'er was even less familiar with her second aunt and cousin. The 2 families didn't have much contact with each other and hadn't seen each other once this year. After all, during the holidays, the 3rd branch would go to the uncle's house, not the concubine's house. Basically, they were from the countryside, and after the sisters got married, they didn't walk around much. Seeing Zhao Yun'er and Liang Jinxiao turn around, Zhao Yun'er's second aunt, Liang Jinfen, smiled and said, "Ah, eldest sister, it's really you." Liang Jinxiao also smiled and said, "Second sister, why are you in Sun City?" After all, they were sisters. The 2 of them had grown up together. Naturally, their relationship was much closer than that of old Zhao's sisters-in-law. "Isn't it almost the Qingming festival? I'm here to visit my little brother and buy some joss sticks and paper money. My little brother is going to give birth in a few months." When Liang Jinfen said that, there was a smile on her lips and her face was full of pride. Zhao Yun'er stood at the side and sized up her second aunt and cousin. Her cousin's name was Su Zhaodi, and she had lived a much better life than her. Her second aunt had married into a good family. The Su family was a wealthy family in the village, and they owned 20 to 30 mu of land. They were considered small landowners. On the other hand, Su Zhaodi had also found a marriage that looked good in the eyes of the villagers. She married into a family in Sun City. They owned a coffin shop and sold joss sticks and paper money. They sold things from the dead because no one would want to save money from the dead. Therefore the shop made more money. Su Xiaodi was wearing gold and silver now. The shiny gold bracelet on her wrist was very eye-catching. She was wearing a light green dress. The fabric was smooth and the color was bright. One look and one could tell that it was worth a lot. Su Xiaodi's in-laws were considered to be part of the upper middle class in Sun City. Indeed, they led a much better life than Zhao Yun'er's family. Chapter 665. Liang Jinxiao remembered that the first time she saw Su Xiaodi was at her wedding a year ago. When a daughter got married, there was a need for a wedding banquet. As relatives, Liang Jinxiao and Zhao Wenhua went to the Su family to attend the wedding banquet. Su Xiaodi's wedding was very extravagant. The Su family set up more than 10 tables of banquet and the groom rode a horse to pick up the bride. This was a rare sight in the countryside. When Liang Jinxiao saw it, she was envious and thought how good it would be if Yun'er could marry into such a family. Unfortunately, Zhao Yun'er's life back then was not half as good as Su Xiaodi's. Liang Jinfen said, "It's all right. It's not too early for Xiaodi to have a child now. Look at Yun'er, her child is already 3 years old." When Liang Jinfen said that, Liang Jinxiao felt very awkward. This second sister of hers might not have any other intentions, but it made people feel uncomfortable when they heard it. As Liang Jinfen spoke, she looked at Zhao Yun'er and smiled at Zhao Yun'er. "This is Yun'er, right? You seem to have changed a lot." She looked much better and prettier than before. Her aura had improved a lot. Liang Jinfen did not know if she was hallucinating. "My Yun'er hasn't changed much." "Ah, big sister, have you arranged Yun'er's wedding? Why don't I introduce you to someone and try to find a good family? If you can marry into a good family like my Xiaodi, you can also enjoy a good life together," Liang Jinfen said with concern. Zhao Yun'er did not know if her second aunt was really concerned about her marriage or if she was pretending to be superior. Anyway, Zhao Yun'er did not like it. Compared to her second aunt was always smiling when they met. She did not mock or speak rudely. In fact, she was trying to put herself on a pedestal. Perhaps in Liang Jinfen's eyes, her family's life was too miserable. She pretended to be concerned and showed off how good her life was at the same time. Liang Jinxiao smiled embarrassedly. "Second sister, you don't have to worry about that. Yun'er's wedding can be arranged slowly. I still want to keep her by my side for a few more years." Liang Jinfen did not continue on this topic. Instead, she smiled and said, "Big sister, you're right. I want Xiaodi to accompany me for a few more years." Which is good. She knows how to be filial, and if she marries into a good family, her father and I can enjoy a good life. She's much better than a son, to marry a wife and to raise a child. For a son to marry a wife and me to raise a child. The reason why Liang Jinfen said that was not because she really thought that her daughter was good, but because she wanted to comfort herself. Although Liang Jinfen did not lead a hard life and came from a well-to-do family, she was not very well liked in the Su family. This was because she had only given birth to daughters after marrying into the Su family for so many years. In ancient times, if she gave birth to only women, she would be criticized behind her back. Giving birth to a son was very important to a woman. Because of this, no matter how good Liang Jinfen's life was, she still had a knot in her heart. That was, she could not give birth to a son. Actually, both sons and daughters are good. "I won't force them," Liang Jinxiao replied. Liang Jinfen did not look very happy when she heard Liang Jinxiao's words. Liang Jinxiao had 2 sons, so it was not painful for her to say such words. Chapter 666. Liang Jinfen said unhappily, "Yun'er, you're too much. It's not easy for me to meet your mother. Let's chat for a while more. Otherwise we won't have another chance. Why are you in such a hurry?" The corners of Zhao Yun'er's mouth twitched a few times. "How is this chatting? It's going to kill me if I continue chatting." "Then, second aunt, take your time to chat." Zhao Yun'er felt a little helpless. She just pretended that she didn't hear anything. Liang Jinfen pulled Liang Jinxiao to chat again. This time he was still talking about how good his life was and how good it was for his daughter to marry into a good family. Liang Jinxiao didn't know what to say. He could only agree with Liang Jinfen. Mulan looked at Zhao Yun'er very sympathetically. She hated this kind of relatives the most. It was as if they were afraid that others didn't know that their family was living a good life. Zhao Yun'er stood there bored. Since Liang Jinfen wanted to say so, she would let him have his way. "Cousin, did you buy pig's offal?" Su Xiaodi pointed at the pig's offal in Zhao Yun'er's hand and asked. Liang Jinfen noticed the thing in Zhao Yun'er's hand. He pinched his nose and showed a look of disgust. No wonder it stinks. It turns out that it's because of this. Why did you buy this? Su Xiaodi asked. Well, Yun'er said that we bought it to eat at home, Liang Jinxiao answered. She knew that Liang Jinfen would definitely say something after she finished speaking. In fact, she also felt that these things were inedible. Zhao Yun'er said that they were edible and insisted on buying them. She could only believe Zhao Yun'er. Hey sister, it's not that I want to say this, but this pig's offal is inedible. Stinks. No matter how poor your family is, you can't eat these things, right? Well, oh sister, I think I'll ask my brother to buy a kilogram of pork for you to eat. It's better to throw it away. If others know that your family is so poor that you're eating pig's offal, they'll laugh at you to death. Liang Jinfen pretended to be concerned, but he purposely talked about business to let the people around them know that Zhao Yun'er's family was buying pig's offal to eat. As a result, the surrounding people cast strange looks in the direction of Zhao Yun'er, and some of them were sympathetic. But they were more puzzled. Why would she eat pig's offal? Just how poor are they? They actually bought so much pig offal to eat? Don't eat stinky your mouth. Right. Someone. Even if you give it to me, I won't accept it. Even if I wash it when I go back home, the house will stink. The strange looks of the people around them and their words made Zhao Yun'er uncomfortable. She really wanted to curse them. Did she get in their way by eating pig's offal? She wasn't spending their money. Didn't they know how delicious the food was? Why did they criticize her now? Liang Jinfen continued to say hypocritically, Yun'er, did you hear that? Everyone said that you can't eat it. Throw away the pig's offal. I'll buy some pork for you to eat. Zhao Yun'er refused flatly, Aunt, it's okay. If I want to eat pork, I can buy it myself. I like pig's offal, so I bought it. Liang Jinfen never expected that Zhao Yun'er would refuse. Chapter 667. Or was she embarrassed to accept their kindness? Yun'er girl, second aunt is being kind. Look at you, what is the meaning of this? You don't want to eat pork, but you want to eat pig's offal. You want to buy pork, but can your family afford it? Now that Zhao Yun'er's family even ate pig's offal, she knew how poor they were. Naturally, she didn't believe that Zhao Yun'er could afford to buy pork. Liang Jinfen knew this, but she didn't feel any sympathy for Zhao Yun'er's family. Instead, she was gloating. Second aunt, I appreciate your kindness, but we really don't need you to buy pork for our family. Alright Yun'er girl, don't be so stubborn. If you can't afford it, then you can't afford it. It's no big deal. Are you afraid that second aunt will laugh at you? Zhao Yun'er really didn't know what to say. Why was her second aunt so dramatic? She could compete with her second aunt. The owner of the pork stall couldn't stand it anymore and said, This sister-in-law, you really misunderstood Miss Yun'er. She buys several jeans of pork from our family every day. How could she not be able to afford it? After the owner of the pork stall finished speaking, Liang Jinfen was stunned. She was frightened by the owner of the pork stall. What did this person say? Buying several jeans of pork a day? Even her family's in-laws couldn't eat meat every meal. Her eldest sister's family was so poor, how could they eat meat every meal? The owner of the pork stall must be lying. Boss, are you joking? If my niece could eat several jeans of pork a day, why would she eat this stinky pig's offal? Liang Jinfen meant that the owner of the pork stall was speaking up for Zhao Yun'er. In fact, it was impossible. What joke am I making? I'm telling the truth. If you don't believe me, then forget it. Yun'er's offal was given to her by my family. Maybe she just likes to eat it. You're too nosy. After that, the butcher ignored Liang Jinfen and continued to chop the pork bones. Liang Jinxiao stepped forward and said to Liang Jinfen, Second sister, our family has eaten enough pork. You really don't need to spend money to buy it for us. Yun'er isn't being courteous with you either. Yun'er has set up a breakfast stall in Yang City and she earns a little every day. Although it won't make our family rich, we can still afford to eat meat. When Liang Jinxiao heard this, he was very surprised and asked, Big sister, your Yun'er is selling breakfast in Yang City? Yeah, it's been there for a while. It just rained a few days ago and didn't come over. I see. Liang Jinfen was calculating in his heart. Now that he had opened a breakfast stall, wouldn't his family not be that poor anymore? Liang Jinfen's original sense of superiority suddenly disappeared. He opened his mouth and didn't know what to say. Big sister, how's the business of your breakfast stall? Is it good? Liang Jinfen couldn't help but gossip. It's good. Liang Jinxiao nodded. He thought that his eldest sister really cared about him. When Liang Jinfen heard this, his face suddenly changed and he couldn't smile anymore. He felt very uncomfortable. Great. Her eldest sister's family was rich. There would be fewer people who could show off their superiority in the future. Although they were sisters, sometimes jealousy was a strange thing. She just couldn't bear to see her sister living a better life than her. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.